Do. There we go. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem from Atlanta, but we have my sister from another mother, but we got the same father right here with us this morning, bright and early. Bright and early. Zamari, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Good morning to you too. I hope you're well.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How was your evening? I'm doing well.
My evening, as in last night, it was good. Sat down with the hubby, watched some movies, a new TV show that's out,
Uh-huh.
and went to sleep.
There you go. There you go. Um, it's something that I want. The day is Friday, so we open up our conversation a little bit. We have a topic, but it's not as tight as it is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But I'm gonna ask you this question. Let me see. I got a chat. Somebody sent me a chat message this morning. Good morning, Vince. How you doing, Vince? Good to have you with us, brother. Good to have you with us. You can actually be a part of the conversation as well. All you have to do is give us a call at 508-508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely love to hear from you. Um, my loyalty. We talk about a lot of things on here. We're gonna talk a little bit today about loyalty. And does loyalty have an expiration date?
Ooh, you are talking about all kinds of things this week that tie in together. Let me tell you, I don't even know if you did that on purpose or if it just happened like that. But man, does loyalty have an expiration date? All right. Well, again, let's look at the divorce rates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that speaks for itself overall,
Yeah.
or the fractured families in general, not even just couples, but brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, mothers' sons, father's sons.
Mm-hmm.
If we're loyal, it should start at that foundation
Yes.
first
Exactly.
and should be forever,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that also goes back to something else that you had talked about previously too, about conditional or unconditional love. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm. But
So I think overall, I do think, Raheem, overall, I think just generally speaking, by what we see, I think it does. It shouldn't, but it does.
mm-hmm. But like you said in the examples that you gave, marriage and family and things of that nature, it really, truth of the matter, it should not have have an expiration date. But in reality, I have to agree with you. I think it does, and it's very unfortunate that something like loyalty, being loyal to the people that's around you that you love and that you care about, would have an expiration date. Why would it?
Oh, are you asking? I thought that was rhetorical.
No, 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 no. Why? Why? I mean, why would it have
Why would it? Because people get angry. People don't get their way because they have indifferences and they can't come to some kind of common ground where they forgive, forget, move on. I I really don't know, Raheem. I don't know why it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I did, because if I had that answer, if we had that answer on so many of the things that you ask here, actually,
Mm-hmm.
the world wouldn't be as jacked up as it is.
Yeah, yeah. Because it seems like loyalty. Now, not even expiration date. Do people even have loyalty anymore? Are they even loyal to each other anymore?
Ooh, now see, that's a better question, right? But that's still a funny one. Do they have what? I think it depends on how they were brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I think in some cases it depends on how they were brought up. In other cases, people had to learn. They had to figure that out on their own terms and in their own ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, because you can have people that come from perfectly like those A+ families, right? And
Yes.
still be not worth a damn. Excuse my language, but it's true, you know.
Good Lord.
But I think it's something that's learned.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And whether they do or they don't anymore, I think by a far less margin, they know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so hard for my husband and I to make friends and keep friends. And that's why he has the friends that he's had since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Which I always found amazing to me because I've moved around so much in my life. I never had the opportunity to create those long-lasting, long-standing friendships that really stand the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
And those friends that are in his friend group that he's had for that length of time, they would do anything in the world for him.
Yeah.
And him the same, right? So to me, that's where I was like, my gosh, I've never seen, if you want loyalty, friendship like that in my life, not one time. So I think it's, if you're lucky to have one person that's loyal to you like that, that's there for you through the thick of it, through all of it, you can have your differences. They're not going to talk crap about you. They're not going to go over here and they're with you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
That is a rare thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, I don't think people today really understand what true loyalty is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And that's crazy. That is so crazy. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm okay. Good morning.
Toussaint, do people know what loyalty is?
No. I mean, yeah, they know. I mean, people know what loyalty is. If you don't know, look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Or ask somebody. They'll tell you what loyalty is.
Mm-hmm.
To find it, that's something else.
Why is it so hard to find in this day and time?
People are selfish. We live in a me, my, and I society.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, you can check wherever you want to. You can go wherever you want to. Every culture, every creed, every color, every how does it say? National origin, religious belief.
Mm-hmm.
It's just selfish.
Wow.
No, Lord. We if it don't have me involved, I'm like when girl, please tell me your name 5 more times. Zamaria. When she was talking, I said, "Oh, this must be Friday. We didn't start cussing already." I'm just saying. I'm just playing.
Lord Jesus.
But people don't give a doggone.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said it right. She said it right.
Mm-hmm.
She said it right. I mean, we can be nice and kind and bougie and like we got wings on our shoulders. But she said it right. People just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Selfish. Wow. But we know what loyalty is.
Mm-hmm.
But to get it.
If you get it, and this is the second part of my question, Toussaint, and we got Curtis on the line as well. We're gonna go to Curtis. But if you get loyalty from somebody, my second part of the question: does loyalty have an expiration date? Does it last forever? Is that loyal? Are you loyal to that person forever, or it has an expiration date? And on that expiration date, like milk, you're gonna throw it away.
Oh man, hey, where you get these questions from, man?
I'm just a question asker, brother.
Let us in on it. Because you ever felt like you supported somebody and when it was your turn it didn't come back?
Yes, sir.
Why is it? And that's just me. Why I have to go to find a good group of people that I can associate with? I got to leave my community. I got to leave my kindreds and acquaintances and go way out and almost across the country to find good, wholesome friends. Why is that?
Yeah, I got to sneeze. I can't. Yeah, I got to sneeze. It won't come up. It's gonna come up in a minute. You know how to.
I forgot. You just timely because you're the question answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just don't come back. I mean, we do several events, and when you have one, you ask for support.
Yeah.
And then, somebody else asks for support, and you always try to be there for them, you know, because you learn if you give, it'll come back. But not among friends. They're always busy when it's your turn. I'm just saying.
But what about your friends? Will they be all right? I'm sorry.
Talk it out.
Talk it
out. Right?
The day must be Friday. I'm singing. The day must be Friday. Kurt, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on with you, Captain? How you doing, man?
I just got home from work.
There you go. There you go. Good to have you, man. Good to have you with us. We're talking about loyalty. We're talking about loyalty this morning, Kurt. Does that still exist? Let me ask the question like that. Does loyalty still exist?
Yeah.
Across the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to me. This talk show, brother. You got to talk, brother. Talk to me. Let me hear you.
It depends on what kind of loyalty you looking for, man.
You
know what I mean? If people looking for loyalty and friendships that they just got, the friendship ain't even earned no loyalty for you to have it. You know what I mean? Like I got a group of friends. You know, we family. You know what I mean? But we didn't start out as family. We started out as friends. They're my day ones.
Yeah.
And we loyal. Like, our loyalty cannot be questioned. If you sat in a room, if you didn't know none of us, and you came in a room, and you saw us all sitting at a table, you would automatically know, as a grown man, them dudes right there, that's not a group of acquaintances. Them dudes right there are really friends.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The loyalty over there is beyond anything I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, I've been places. We've been places. And literally, females, after a course in time of being there, females done literally walked up and said, "Are y'all gay?"
Good Lord.
What you talking about? Ain't nobody over here gay.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen friends like y'all before. What you mean? Like, no, it's on a different level. So yeah, it still exists, man. It's not all gloom and doom. Like, I don't know, man. Gloom and doom put butts in the seat, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's the easiest way. It's the lowest, in politics they call it the lowest hanging fruit.
But Curtis, let me ask you
something. The lowest hanging fruit.
Let me ask you this right here, excuse me. Let me ask you this right, because what you all have is very unique. I think it's very unique, but it's not across the board. And I can relate to you, man, because I got friends that I grew up with, and we're like family as well. We went to elementary school together. And I could get on the phone right now and say, "Look here, man, I need you to call in," and they'll call in. all these people are in Greensboro, North Carolina. I get on the phone. Hey, look, I need some people on my team. Give me a call, man. Give me a call. All of them will call in. All of them will call. That'll be crazy because all of them ain't all the way right. But I know that they will call in because that's how we do. And like I said, we've been friends since elementary school. I know these cats, man. But I think that's a rare animal, and I think that in some situations, like Toussaint said, man, if it's not about you and whoever that person is, I say you, whoever that person is, loyalty would have an expiration date, and the people that you think are loyal to you would find a way to move away from you in another direction. So what you have is rare, man. But let's talk about across the board. Is that something that you see outside of your group every day?
Across the board, man, I see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Baltimore, so, you know what I mean? With all of the murder and mayhem we got going on, there has to be something that offsets that chemistry. So the one thing I see that offsets that chemistry is that loyalty and that balance. So there's a balance here.
Mhm.
Although what we see on TV and what flashes across the screen
Mhm.
is not exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is the loyalty, is the fellowship, is the family gathering. You know what I mean? So it becomes easy to talk about what we don't see.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I see it across the board. Even when I go down south, and I'm sitting with my son and his friends, they got a level of loyalty that says, okay, somebody was listening to the OGs when they was talking. Maybe that was me. Somebody was listening.
Mhm.
You know, if I come to town, my son friends like, hey, yo, Pop here? Yeah. Oh, man, I'm on the way over there right now.
Mhm.
Because they want to come, they want to sit down and just politic. Or
Yeah.
they want to come and sit down and just, hey, Pop getting on the grill today? Pop getting in, Pop going in the oven today? Yeah, man, Pop here, he cooking.
Mhm.
Oh, man, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think what has happened in our modern society is we have got to a place where we measure loyalty by what one brings to the table.
Mm.
And that could be tangible, meaning money or food, or drink.
Yeah.
But in reality, real loyalty comes when a cat comes to the table broke, busted, and disgusted, and you still give him a seat.
Yeah. 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 That's good. That's
He
good.
still has a voice.
That's good. That's good. Stay right there, Curtis. Don't you go nowhere, man. Stay right there. I know you just got off work, man, but hang in there because I like where you're going, brother. Let's go to Zamari. Zamari, what's on your heart? And I'm gonna go over here and sneeze while you do that.
I really appreciate Curtis's outtake, actually, and everything that he just talked about, because that everything that he just covered, that personal experience with himself, with his son and his son's friends, that is a rare occurrence that you see that, and that loyalty is deep, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Man, I love that. I want to come over and eat now. I'm going to come to your house and eat. But it reminds me of my husband and the relationship with his crew, right? Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing like what you're talking about, what Raheen had said about, his crew is that loyalty. It's been there, right, for a long freaking time. And that's something that is earned. That's something that happens over time. Like you said, Curtis, it's not, you don't just get to come show up and suddenly you got that.
Yeah.
That's something that is earned over time. And I think, Curtis, you nailed it, man. Like you said it, right? Like you don't get to just come and sit down at the table and suddenly you got it. No, you have to show that you can earn that and that you're worth my time, my effort, and pouring into you that way. Can I really trust you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really going to be there for me, or Or are you just here for what you can get out of me?
Mm-hmm. How do you test that?
How do you test it?
Mm-hmm. Whether this person is loyal or not. Because some people say you you test your friends and you do these different things. I've never
Oh
tested.
yeah.
I've never tested any of the guys I'm talking about. I know it just happened. It's just there. And some of them that was there, some of them that was in the group back in the day, found a way out of the group. But we didn't have to test them and stuff like that. We just look at their actions and how they carry themselves and how they move. You know what I mean? And you can tell about the way a person move. You know who they are. You know they can say what they want to say, but I look at how a person move. How you move, man.
Yeah. What you said, you just answered your own question. What you were asking me, that's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what you do. You listen to them, you watch them, and that's how it. If you're good enough at that, and normally people who have that level of loyalty in themselves, there's just something, I don't know, like maybe we work a little differently, but most of the time you can figure that out pretty quick, just by the way that someone speaks, the way that what they're speaking about, how they're speaking about it, the way that they're like their movements, all of that there's telltale signs in everything that they do. And if they're loyal, they're going to stick around. Like I've got my one girlfriend, okay? My one girlfriend that I have. She is jacked up. All right? She is messed up. But I will tell you, if I needed her for absolutely anything, in spite of all of her mess, she's there.
Wow. That's good.
She's right there.
That's good. Tucson, how do you weigh that, whether this person is worthy? You meet this person, they say, they talk the talk. They talk the talk. But how do you know whether they actually walk the walk? And how do you know whether they actually going to be that loyal person that you can count on when the chips are down? How do you weigh that?
Well, I can't. I don't even weigh it. I really don't. I mean, I don't see. Lord, I can only do me. And I keep doing me because I believe that if you treat a person some kind of way, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It might even not come back through that person, but it's going to return. Some kind of way. You're going to get what you give. So I keep on doing me. I'm not responsible for anybody else. Curtis is right. I got some friends back that when we went to elementary together, and there's a few, and we're still like brothers.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. But I'm talking about 8, 9-year-old.
Yeah, that's what, exactly.
And here we are 50 years later, and I can call them up and we have a conversation like we were when we was shooting marbles.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But measuring that is a constant flow. It just keeps on. It's just what it is. Man, I expect that from them. Now, as far as meeting people along the way, for instance, let me use this for example. DKM Media Group.
Yes, sir.
Did I say it right?
You did.
Look at how we function. I don't know you, Raheem. I don't know you from Adam's Cat.
Yeah.
Really. And you don't know me.
Exactly.
Samaria, Curtis, Leonard, Rico, Cassandra, Anna, Willa. These are people that are loyal to what you got going on. Did you ask for it? I mean, no. You're just doing what you do. But every morning, since we function some kind of way, we keep this thing going.
Yes, sir.
Faithfully.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand that. Because we don't really, I said again, we don't know each other. but there's a need here, I believe,
Yes.
and it's functioning very well. I mean, hey, but loyalty comes to those that give it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you measure it. Look at it. It's evident. Okay, that's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's evident.
Wow. Wow.
You don't have to ask about it. You don't have to wonder about it. You don't have to go look for it. It just comes
Mm-hmm.
automatically.
Exactly. That's good. That's
And
good.
that's what's on my heart right here.
Yes, sir. Kurt, talk to me, brother. This loyalty thing, man, it goes deep, man, and it's something that's very special. Once you find it and find that person that's loyal, it is very special. But it's like sometimes it could be like a needle in a haystack. It's very difficult to find, but once you do, you have something special. You found it. How does it feel?
It's a beautiful thing, right? But I didn't find it, brother.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Loyalty found me.
Yes, sir.
I didn't find loyalty. I didn't go looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem that we have in our modern society. Everybody's going looking for something that they can't find. You can't find that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when you hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm going to look for Jesus." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Call me when you tell me when you find him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find Jesus. Jesus finds you.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna go looking for something that already know where you at? So, like, look, man. Here's how I put things together, man. Like, real talk. If I gotta test you, then I'd rather rush you.
Mm-hmm.
If I gotta test your loyalty, then that means you never had none to start.
Yep.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because loyalty is just as deep as love, man.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You hear people talking all the time about, oh, when I find love. What? Okay, you keep on looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never gonna find them. When you sit back and you let love find,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's a whole different of a feeling.
Yes, it is. A whole different
You see
vehicle.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
When you go looking for loyalty, A lot of people don't even know that when you go looking for loyalty or you go looking for love, you already got a biased opinion of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm looking for loyalty, and the only way that I'm going to get it is this person must have A, B, C, D, or E.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Nobody accounts for, well, what is the downside of A? What is the downside of B? What is the downside of C? What is the downside of D? And what is the downside of E? Because none of us have lived. We were born, as Bishop say all the time, you are born perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you do with that life, once you get it, but you are made perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you put into that life makes you imperfect, or it brings about imperfections, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so with that in mind, what you take into it is what you're going to get out of it, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. So if you saying if I'm saying that my loyalty says that if you're loyal to me, you are going to ignore every single thing I do to break the law. If you're loyal to me, you are going to allow for me to denigrate, humiliate, and blatantly mistreat other people. If that's the loyalty I'm looking for, then how righteous is my loyalty?
Come on. Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
But if my loyalty has nothing connected to it outside of the fact that, you know what, I'm a human being, you're a human being, and we're going to exist in a realm of love and respect and admiration, not for self, but admiration for each other.
That's good. That's good.
That's blind loyalty to me. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I don't.
maybe I'm speaking utopia. I don't know. But I know for me, I don't expect for anybody to be nothing but themselves.
That way you're never disappointed.
I'm never disappointed.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. Just enjoying another beautiful new day.
Yes, sir. Good to have you, brother. Good to have you. We talking about loyalty. We talking about loyalty. Does it still exist, Rico? Is that just a fragment of our imagination?
Oh yeah, it exists. You know, it definitely exists. It's just a matter of what it exists with. What are people loyal to? You know, like some people are loyal to gangs. You know, you have dens of thieves. They're loyal to criminal behavior. Some people just love that element, the mafia.
Yeah.
Man, you got to definitely be loyal to be in the mob, or you might be out of here once you play that game. What they say, blood in, blood out.
Exactly.
That's how deep that loyalty is. When you get in it, there ain't no way out of it. Not only are you tied to it forever, but this is how deep your loyalty goes. You are dedicated to it. It comes before your family. We your new family.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was thinking earlier about what you said about people being loyal, you know, and how do you find out? Well, you know, that to me, those are like one of the things. I hate to say it's a man or a woman trait, but I think to me it's more common for women to put out little tests, to see if you're loyal. But with men, we just gonna let it be proven by action.
Yep.
Because it don't matter what you say. You could do all the swearing in you want to, but ain't nobody gonna know if you really loyal for the get down till the stuff hit the fan.
Exactly, and that's
so
and
talk
true.
Is very key. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because and that's why I see with me, and I love how you said that, man. Because that's why I see with me, I watch how you move. I just watch how you move, and you're gonna tell me, you're gonna show me whether you're loyal by the way you move. You can say what you want to say, but I'm watching what you do, man. I'm watching how you move, how you interact with, not just me, but everybody else around me. How you move.
Right.
Go ahead, Rico. You own it, brother.
See, what doesn't impress me is the fact that the person might be loyal. What catches my eye is what they're loyal to.
Yeah.
That's what catches my eye. See, I ain't got no question that some people are loyal. Well, we behavioral addicts. Some people loyal to food. Some people loyal to money. Some people loyal to say they loyal to all these different things they like. They so loyal to it, to the fact that they ain't gonna give it up. If it's one thing you ain't fixing to make me give up, is my chitlins on Thanksgiving. I don't care how high they get, and I don't care how bad they are for your health. I am loyal to that unhealthy diet because of tradition. I ain't that some people loyal to tradition. Well, I'm gonna take it a step deeper though, because we got an elephant in the room. We got some black people that's loyal to only having to only doing crime to other black people.
Yeah.
Even when they got badges on and uniforms. They might be loyal to the badge. They take an oath. And then some of them might even be fraternity members, Q dogs. They join a black fraternity. Think about this now, Divine Nine, Q dogs. We got 5 black policemen in Memphis that brutally beat another man that looked just like them to death.
Yep.
An innocent black man. They're more loyal to the badge, and they're more loyal to the system, to the point where they so brainwashed that they're not even loyal to their blackness, and they actually repeated what they saw their masters do under the guise of law and order, justice, being policeman, whatever title. It still came back from that behavior being done to people that look like them, and now they repeating it. but they're loyal. They took an oath. They said they took an oath to protect and serve.
Yeah.
But instead, they had fellowship on another black man's head, and then his family asking, why y'all beat my son to death like this?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I like this conversation, man, but, you know, I really sort of want to go there, man. I mean, because that's an elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The things that you see going on consistently. You know, that most of the time when you see people doing something consistently, that's what they're loyal to. Well, in our community, we are consistently seeing children in Chicago killing each other every weekend. In our community, we are seeing people consistently doing things that are detrimental and self-destructive to themselves, but they're loyal to it. They won't stop it. And we need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because we don't even like to hear the word black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason in our community, people are loyal to it and don't want to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can put whatever title you want on it. But if a crime or violent crime is committed on a black person by another black person, then that's a black crime committed on another black person.
Mm-hmm.
That's black on black. You can get emotional and not want to say the words all day long and say, well, it's proportional to your population or whatever, but for some reason we are loyal to not having this compassion for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we're more loyal to the system,
mm-hmm.
more loyal to the value system that we want to be successful in, to the point that where 5 black police officers can forget about the color of this man that they're beating on, and he was innocent.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot about the color, forgot about where they came from, because they are loyal to the American way and the American system.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not want to believe racism exists anymore either. That's the reason why it was so easy for them to do that. They're loyal to the system.
And see, my thing is, Rico, I'll let you see all that because we're actually going in that direction as well. That's at the 9 o'clock hour. When we get to the 9 o'clock hour, that's when we're going to talk about that situation about with the police, with the police officers there in Memphis. And it's crazy. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I think I know that guy, the one that got killed. I think I know him because he actually there's a fellow that has a cigar bar. He's actually from Memphis, and he have parties, and a lot of people from Memphis come up to his parties all the time. And I think I met the guy at that party. As a matter of fact, I got some guys got him on video and stuff like that. And I called the guy that owned the shop. His name is Chief. And I called Chief. I said, Chief, did you hear about it? And he whatever reason, being busy, I guess he hadn't heard about it. But he said he was gonna make a couple of phone calls and call me back. So he's supposed to be calling me back today and let me know if that's actually the guy. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that during the 9 o'clock hour. But let me go to Tucson. Tucson, loyalty. Loyalty, is it some people treat it like it's a disease. They don't want it because they don't trust nobody. Nobody could be trusted. I'm not gonna trust. Why am I gonna trust you? Be loyal to you for what? You ain't loyal to me. And that mindset is what keeps us separated. Why do we live there?
Self-preservation. I never could pronounce it.
Self-preservation.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You ever saw Entourage
Mm-hmm.
of Foolishness?
Yeah.
I'm talking about people, there's a leader, let me just say it like that. And they got people following him and they loyal to him. But he's a crook.
Mm-hmm.
He, she, they, or, okay. And I thought about this when Rico said it. January 6th.
Yeah.
Loyal.
Mm-hmm.
There's loyal people.
Yeah.
Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
The Klan. White supremacy. Skinheads. Loyal. And gang violence. I mean, I guess there is loyalty, but it's just misguided. We dedicated to the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Self-destruction, war. We love it. We'll fight for it, but it continues to bring us in the same old circle, over and over and over again. What we've been doing this. Grandma did this. The story about the the pound cake. I don't know if it was a pound cake. I'm just saying the pound cake, or the roast or whatever it is, and it was handed down from generation to generation until they asked Grandma, "Why in the world did you make this when you got?" So she said, "Well, I didn't have but one pot. That's why."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? That's the short version of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But we do things because it was done, and it wasn't right.
Yeah.
We passed down voodoo. I ain't saying it's a bad thing. It might be to some people, or witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
We got religious beliefs that we're loyal to, and if we search it out, we're going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I don't want to go there because, boy, that's it. You got some people jump right on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when the rubber meets the road, the one we're supposed to be loyal to, that's the one we say to heck with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he shows us real loyalty, and for some reason, we don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's crooked, if it causes mayhem, we all for it.
Mm-hmm.
We loyal to waiting until something happens, then we want to march and riot, raise hell,
Mm-hmm.
burn down our own buildings, loot our own stores.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why the neighborhood ain't got nowhere to shop. You got to go back out there and shop in their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because you burn yours down.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna keep building it there. Why we don't have this, why we don't have this, and because you burn it down.
Mm-hmm.
You tear it up. And you do it over and over and over and over again. And the question, we're loyal to asking why.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
With
Wow.
we're loyal to creating problems with no solution.
Mm. Wow. That's good. That's good. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on that one word that he said, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't know, where are we at besides that though?
Yeah, that we're still talking about the loyalty thing, and is it like is it like a disease that some people say they don't want it because there's a bridge that separates people because they don't trust each other.
Well, I mean, I don't trust anybody.
Wow.
I don't trust everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot for me. Actually, when I was talking with Toya, we kind of discussed this a little bit, okay? Like, I take my kids up. We have a pool here in our neighborhood, community pool, whatever. We go up there every summer. And when I go up there, I do my very best to put out this whole vibe that basically says, don't mess with me. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't approach me. Not interested.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because I don't want to deal with people. Which is funny I say that because I'm on here with several people talking to you all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's me making that conscious choice.
Yes.
Like, I listened to you guys for several days because I warmed up to you all very quickly. So I think it was even less than just several days. But I listen to everything you guys are saying, how you're saying it. I'm like, okay, these guys have good hearts. They have good intentions. I can get down with that.
Yes.
Right? But when I go up to the pool, and the very few times that I have opened myself up and talked to somebody or allowed someone to talk to me, and I continue to carry on that conversation, they needed me more than I needed them in that moment. But I'm not giving them my phone number.
Yeah.
because that's not once people open up like that, and I don't know, I have an issue with people who are so easy to just tell you their entire life story from the very get.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a red flag for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you got some kind of mess I don't want to be dealing with. I'll listen to you. If I can give you any advice, I'll give you the advice. But after that, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just don't want to deal with it. Because if you're, I don't know, I'm a weird bird sometimes. Because if you're willing to do that, I feel like once you open up like that, and once I don't serve a purpose for you anymore, you're going to go and find somebody else that's going to listen to your same story.
Yep.
Over and over and over again. And to me, that's not loyalty. Tell me about your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about what's going on. Let's just have conversation, because those are the building blocks of what leads up to loyalty, really. If you can just vibe with somebody and just have natural conversation, if you're talking to them for 3 hours, that's something special. There's something there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're just going to straight up open up to me from the very second that I meet you and tell me everything about yourself, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm not sitting here telling you everything about me. Hey, my girl's on. But yeah, like when me and Toya got to talking, we were on the phone for 4 hours. That was not intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But we just vibed so well together and enjoyed that conversation with each other. And it was like, getting to know each other, telling each other things about our lives and seeing where each of us were in these places, right? And that felt natural to me. It wasn't her just coming to me and telling me all of this stuff and then being like, all right, peace out. We have that connection and that back and forth, and that's how you build that loyalty, because through that, then you're listening to the other individual, you're hearing what they're saying, and if it's an uncomfortable conversation, right, then you kind of it ends, it dies.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I guess you just kind of, you have to play it by ear and know within yourself that that's not somebody that's really good for you to be around for whatever reason. There's no loyalty there. You just have to watch for red flags.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
really do. And so that's why I just don't like to mess with people, because I've been burned so many different times with people acting one way or, thinking that they're this kind of way, and then they turn out not to be. And because of those experiences, and I'm sure we've all had them, you kind of learn. Your body, your mind, all your spirit, all of that stuff is trained to kind of pick up on those things. And you're like, no.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But people are hungry for loyalty.
Wow.
They are hungry for someone who is real, who's not going to BS them or, feed them stuff just to make them feel good for a moment. Mm-hmm. People want real connection. And I love what Curtis had said earlier, and I think Rico kind of said the same thing too about that. What are the, I love the way he said it, unrighteous loyalty and righteous loyalty. There is a difference. So what are they loyal to?
Exactly.
That's and I good. Love that. I love that.
That's good deal. Good deal. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Morning. Good morning. The mute button almost won. Almost. He hit me with that TKO. I had to dust some stars off for a second, y'all. My bad.
Had to shake it off.
That's right.
Exactly. Toya, we're talking about our loyalty today. Is loyalty in this day and time, is it a unicorn? Is it something that still exists? Are people looking for it? Do they even want it? What do you say to that?
Well, I don't think it's a unicorn. I think it still exists. It's probably more like endangered black bears or something like that. I ain't gonna say unicorns. We don't have them no more. It's definitely endangered though. Maybe dinosaurs endangered, but it's not gone. So what I'm noticing moving forward is we got a lot of con artists. You know what I'm saying? Like loyalty goes in packs, right? Like the gang activity kicked up, or like people are clicking up, taking people off, and then they not making it back home. So it's like we got this weird loyalty now where people are like getting together on some things that's not exactly positive. It's just like, really crazy. But I does think it exists. I think a lot of it is warped. I think a lot of it is misguided. Even with, loyalty within families, loyalty within like fraternities and initiations who haze each other, and like gangs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people got a code of loyalty, right? Like don't snitch.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody come run up on your people, you gonna want them to tell type. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So there is a loyalty out there. Some of it may be more misguided and warped than usual, right? But I think we have a lot of great pretenders. And what people do, wolf in sheep's clothing. And God talks about this too, about people who gonna act like they do his work and they really don't do his work. Great pretenders, wolves in sheep's clothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we have a lot of the time every day. I think at one point it was just more like guys trying to manipulate a girl or ladies trying to manipulate a man, you know what I'm saying, into being something they not. But now, no, we clicking up and we murdering people in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? We're getting together in gangs and doing terrible, horrible things to people. We're getting together, doing drugs together, and committing heinous crimes and not telling anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there is loyalty. I just think that probably 80% of it is warped and misguided. And there's 20% that's really true loyalty, but people really try to make sure, you know what I'm saying, they're good people and they're doing the right thing.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And there's a lot of different things in what you just said. I'm gonna go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, man? Because loyalty, man, we want it. Some of us want it, desire it, but it's so hard to find. It's so hard to find sometimes. What do you say to that?
Well, it's hard to find depending on what you're looking for people to be loyal to. Once again, do you want them to be something loyal to something that's natural or unnatural? You want them to be loyal to a code that's built off righteousness, or a code that's just built off of what this clique believes in and their cause and their agenda. To me, if you really are loyal to life and loyal to God, then you know what I'm saying, there's something you just couldn't do as a police officer or as a prosecutor when you free somebody, but you don't want to release that evidence. But you're loyal to your career, so you want this conviction rate, and you can't afford for this evidence to come out, because not only have y'all spent money on this case and it's high profile, but you need to win. Why? Because you loyal to your career, and you loyal to this American dream, and you can't accomplish this American dream without you getting these convictions that can help you move on up the ladder to where you can probably be governor or president one day with a high conviction rate, and you tough on crime, because I'm loyal to fighting crime. Until one of mine do it. Until there's somebody jogging through a neighborhood and they used to be police officers, and really truly one of them shouldn't have been a police officer, and we got it on tape. So I ain't loyal to law and order now, huh? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's really about, what are you truly loyal to? Are you truly loyal to righteousness, creation? Are you loyal to the existence of life? And the fact that you understand that every person on this planet has the exact same experience that you have in their own special way. And maybe you should respect them or treat them the way that you want to be treated, even though you are in authority, even though you took this oath to protect and serve. So I think, man, it's all about, what are you naturally loyal to? And what are you unnaturally loyal to? Man, the things we believe in and that we covet, man, it goes a long way. I said it earlier. I think some people like to put people to test because they're so self-centered. They don't want to take the time to have to keep their eyes open on people to see if they're really going to prove their loyalty. So they'll just take the easy way around. Let me ask them these questions. Well, let me ask them these trick questions.
Yeah.
Let me see what type of answer they gonna give.
Mm-hmm.
What is he gonna say? What is she gonna say? And some people learn to say just what you need to hear so they can accomplish their goal.
Yep. Yep.
But see, now it's easy now. You ain't got to worry about checking their loyalty because they checked all the boxes and they said all the right little keywords. Now I could go out here and be great.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time this person saying, I got them now.
Yeah.
Let me bust them upside the head because now they ain't paying attention. They think I'm loyal just because I passed that little test. But see, I believe in being organic. I don't believe in going looking for love. I don't believe in going looking for a wife. I don't believe in going looking for a friend. You get what I'm saying? I don't believe going and looking for loyalty. I believe in letting it come to me, like Curtis said earlier. When you start off just being a friend and you don't have intentions of romance or intimacy, then a lot of times it comes off more sincere and pure. But if you go in with an agenda, you know, it's not organic, then it's probably going to be a little warped, like Toya said. So me, I don't go putting out tests or asking questions. I look at how you move. I look at how you carry yourself, and that's going to show me how loyal you are. If somebody does something for you and you actually show your appreciation in the right way, that goes to show me pretty much that you're loyal to being respectful and appreciative. So wouldn't nobody have to tell you to go and show your appreciation. You would automatically know to show your appreciation. So I got to keep it going because he froze up. Yeah, there he is. So, you know, that's the way I look at it, man. I look at it as, you know, it should be organic. It shouldn't be scripted. In some cases it has to be scripted, but most of the time if it's scripted or there's an order put in place for you to pledge your allegiance or take an oath, 9 times out of 10 there's going to be a whole lot of man-made requirements and qualifications that's put in it. And most of those qualifications are probably going to be derogatory or just completely ignorant. Unnecessary, just for the fact that man came up with it and man decided, okay, this is what you need to do to prove your loyalty to me and our cause. But what if you and your cause aren't righteous? So, it should be organic. It shouldn't be scripted, and it shouldn't be forced, because you have some cases where loyalty and allegiance is sort of like forced or coerced, but then it's not reciprocated. For instance, like with the military and Pat Tillman, you know, his loyalty to his country and his dedication to democracy made him join the military, and the government turned around and had that same military kill him with friendly fire, and then didn't show any loyalty in the truth of what happened to him. So what are you loyal to? Go ahead, Zamar, because I don't know if Raheem got on ready yet.
I don't even know how to follow that up, Rico. What am I supposed to say? I don't even know where to go with that. Hey. Toya, you go.
Rico, you got to. She can't even respond, brother.
I think she was doing something else, just wasn't paying attention. She might be playing it, using it as an excuse. all over the place, man.
Mm-hmm. Toya, you want to talk to me, sis?
Yeah, no, it's always hard coming after Dr. Rico. I don't know why he don't just go on and go to school and get his little paper to show that he Dr. Rico. But no, it's really hard to come behind that guy right there. But no, I mean, he got a point. He has a wonderful way of breaking things down and putting them into a specific perspective. You know what I mean? Taking everything that you just said and then aligning it in his own individual little column. But no, he's absolutely right. You know, that's kind of what our loyalty boils down to, on what we want to be loyal to. And I say this all the time. Oftentimes we become friends not because we see how each other are, often because of the things that we share alike, right? We all might smoke weed. We all might wear weave. We all might drive motorcycles, right? And then we use this common denominator to build whatever relationship or group or clique, but lose that weave. Don't smoke weed anymore, or don't drive that motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? Will you still have what that loyalty, you know what I'm saying, that exists? And Rico made some very valid points with his loyalty, like he said, with the military and how we do things on a daily basis, not even in the military and how they operate, but even how they build your loyalty to them. Let's think about it. They give you to willingly and freely give your life for a country, right? But we don't oftentimes look at the patterns that they follow, like they feed you. They push you in limits that you wouldn't have ordinarily pushed yourself. They provide you with something that you need that no one else could come and provide for you at that time. And in exchange for that, you give them your loyalty to put your life on the line. Leave your family, leave your wife, leave your parents, and put your life on the line to go fight for a country that when you come back, they may not even give you what you need to get put back together. So again, when it comes to loyalty, a lot of us look at loyalty, but for a common denominator. What is going to make us click up together? You know what I'm saying? Let's use the KKK, for example. All them guys probably didn't agree with what was going on, but they did it because of the privilege. They all wanted the privilege. So it wasn't about right or wrong. Some of them didn't even care about black people having nothing. But just the fact that you couldn't have the privilege if you joined that way of life at that time, that's enough right there to get your loyalty. Like Rico said earlier, loyalty to your career, because you don't want to lose your job. Because you don't care if the music we're putting out is detrimental to society and causing things. No, my loyalty is to the dollar. And whatever I need to make that money and live in big houses and fancy cars and drive my rocket ships to wherever I'm going to go, that's where my loyalty lies. So, yeah, when it comes to loyalty, each one of us, we make a conscious, common decision on what we're going to be loyal to. Like us Christians, we made a conscious vow that with everything that we've been through, we're going to be loyal to a good God. And vice versa for anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Muslim, Buddha, whatever. They made a conscious, common decision. And the common denominator is probably pain, going through things. And then you decide to give your life and become loyal to a specific allegiance that you believe in. And so those are things that when it looks at loyalty, we have to pay very close attention to it. Your kids are loyal to you for a reason. Your husband's loyal to you for, you know what I'm saying? Your job may let you get away with things for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because they're loyal to you for what you've done. So it's an individual thing when it comes to loyalty and what the common denominator is.
Exactly. Zamal, you had your hand up. Oh, go ahead, sis.
I actually have a question for this. When is it okay to break loyalty?
Wow. And see, and Zamal, that's pretty much where we started at. We asked the question, does loyalty have an expiration date? And so yeah, that goes right along with what you're saying. When is it okay? When is it okay? Zamal?
I'm asking, I want to hear what other people have to say. I'm curious, like, when is it okay to break loyalty? Is it okay to break loyalty, like, okay, in a group of friends? Is it okay to break that loyalty if you know your dude over here, your brother, is cheating on his wife? Is it okay to break loyalty, that brotherhood, and go and tell his wife, hey, you need to put your dude in check? So when is it okay to break loyalty? Wow. Where is the line drawn with that stuff? I'm just curious.
And Tucson had his hand up, and I got somebody that's on the phone line, y'all. I'm going to go to him in just a second or two. Y'all hold on. But Tucson, what do you say to that, brother? You had your hand up.
Yeah, because when you wrong, that's it for me. Okay, look, let me throw it out like this, because I think y'all basically know where I am. I'm in the church, Christian. I'll wear that title because I don't have a problem with it, because I'm not nobody else's type of Christian, and I love leadership. But I'm not gonna follow you in the ditch. Not doing it. That's the end of my loyalty. I'm loyal to the God, but I'm not loyal to foolishness. And if it don't line up with what we supposed to do as Christians or people that are a church or the mission that's set before, you can talk your noise if you want to. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That, because we follow people because they say God say, and God ain't saying some of this foolishness. I'm not loyal to that. You notice that how far people are willing to go with loyalty to this country, and you follow. Let me throw this out there like this: you follow a person just because they have the same skin color.
Mm-hmm.
Man, look, you gotta be kidding. I'll say this and I'll make it short and try to shut up. I remember when I was in college and we was on the track team, and I was in the fraternity, and we was all in the dorms and friends, and we tight and we brothers and all of that, and all of a sudden and I might as well tell you, we was getting tore up from the floor. They
Mm-hmm.
made me lose my high. Let me tell you what they said.
Mm-hmm.
Let's become blood brothers.
Oh
So they
Lord.
cut themselves on their wrist, and we gonna mix blood. I said, I ain't finna mix blood with now one of you, because I'm not gonna wound myself purposely
Yeah.
just so I can call you brother.
Mhm.
Loyalty done.
Yeah.
The devil is a lie.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I see those of that too. So I ain't cutting myself. I ain't pricking myself or poking myself. None of that stuff, man. Y'all go ahead and do that, and y'all have that. But I'm not gonna be a part of that. Captain, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man,
Man, to God be the glory. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Hey, doing
My
good.
morning group.
Yeah, doing good. Good to have you back, brother. Good to have you back with us. How you feeling?
Well, we thank God, man, that we got another chance to correct yesterday's mistakes. We got up this morning, and I would like to say I got up this morning pain-free, but I would not be telling the truth.
Yes, sir.
I had a 4-hour back surgery, and if y'all probably already know it, I thank all of you for your prayers and words of support, but I want to say thank God for legal drugs. I ain't mad at legal drugs. If it wasn't for legal drugs, I wouldn't be on this line right now. But,
yes, sir.
but other than that, we've been managing the pain.
Good deal. What we're talking about today, we're talking about loyalty. And does it still exist? Are we looking for it? Are we searching for it? Or do most people even have a desire to find loyalty? What do you say to that?
Well, I think loyalty does exist. I think it still exists. When you use the word loyalty, you're putting it in many categories. Are you loyal to a gang of thugs who the leader is loyal to Madness Mayhem, and you're part of that? You want to be loyal to that leader who's faithful with his madness and mayhem? They have to like that. There's those who pledge.
Mm-hmm.
Are you loyal to the Omegas? Are you loyal to the Alpha? To those who are in sororities.
Mm-hmm.
So are you loyal to your organization? And then, of course, since we're on a Christian show, are you loyal to God?
Mm-hmm.
And those who say they represent God. So I heard the sister ask the question, are you supposed to, when is loyalty comes in? Should you be loyal to those who are not loyal to you? I would say absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But loyalty, when I think of the word loyalty, I think of the word faithful. And they are almost one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
Are you faithful to what you say you believe in, or are you faithful to those that you say you believe in? The question is, are we committed to truth?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what we represent here on this show. All of us, and I like what Brother Toussaint say, we're about loyalty to truth, man. If you represent truth, I'm down with you.
Yeah.
I'm all the way, which I mean like Paul I mean, like all 10 toes in, but we have to be loyal and faithful to God.
Yeah.
And I think that people still loyal, and I think that people are still faithful.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that today, when people begin to break their loyalty and faith to you, I don't think they have no obligation to be loyal and faithful. You have an expiration. That's when you say, bye, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And this ain't what I joined. This is not what I thought we were going to be a part of. You know, I'm real loyal to this organization. I'm real loyal to this group, but y'all going a whole nother direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same way it is with black folks, with black organizations. I think it's the same way with white folks and white organizations. I think we are all loyal until those that we are loyal to are not faithful to the creed or faithful to the mission.
Mm-hmm.
It does exist.
Exactly.
Does it have an expiration date? It most certainly do, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, Brother Ryan, we are living in a time where it's kind of hard to find that kind of loyalty. Because if we're Christians or we're Muslims, you know, if you can't be faithful and loyal to God, then I ain't got a chance.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I ain't got a chance.
Exactly.
That's what's on my heart, Brother Ryan.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Badger coming to you next. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? Loyalty. Does it still exist? Is it real? Is it real reality?
Most definitely. It has to be. Ain't you loyal to something?
Mm-hmm. But I'm not everybody.
Right. But loyalty ain't just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Captain Dennis brought it out. You can be loyal to a lot of things. However, I choose to be loyal to the righteousness of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, one, I listen to a story. I don't jump to an opinion or a conclusion. Is it right? That determines whether or not I'm going to be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And also, even with like one, I do support brotherhoods and all those types of things, and those people who pledge their loyalty. I mean, I think it's definitely alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
But loyalty is not what some people think. Loyalty does not equal peace. Loyalty does not equal, I think, this blind faith sort of type situation. I'm loyal, whatever. That's loyalty between those types of people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let's not look at loyalty to be a positive thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. So you don't think it is a positive thing, or don't have to, or don't necessarily have to be.
It's both. It can be both positive and negative.
Yeah.
It just depends on what are you loyal to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, explain it.
Yeah. I see you there.
Yeah. So, loyalty, when some people say loyalty comes with the assumption of positivity.
Mm-hmm.
It's positive for the people involved, but it may not be positive for everyone else. We can be loyal in murder.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
We can be loyal just like what you think the RICO charge for? For those people who have pledged loyalty to do certain things that are considered crimes. That's how you get a RICO charge.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your relationship with these people. Your relationship may not be positive. Your relationship may be to minister community. There are some people that are loyal to that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good.
So it's not necessarily that everybody should be loyal. It's what are you loyal to?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's
not
good.
Who are you loyal to?
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Badger and Badger. Cassandra coming to you next. Badger, what's on your heart? What do you say to that, man? We're talking about loyalty. Does loyalty exist? And does loyalty have an expiration date?
I'd say yes to both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people are loyal to money, loyal to God, loyal to their wives, loyal to the kids. Like, which loyalty are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on which one they're loyal to, it's probably going to decide how long they're going to stay loyal to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, We know people that are more loyal to money than they are to human beings and will sell somebody in a heartbeat. But we also know people that's the opposite, that are very protective, and money, family comes before money. So just one of those things of loyalty is, in my opinion, wherever is the place where the person decides to put their devotion.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times you got to be careful of those silver tongues. They'll say that they're devoted to something, but that's goal too.
Okay, that's good. Good
Yeah,
deal. Good. You're breaking up, brother. You're breaking up a little bit.
I said it's a spectrum.
Okay, got you. Got you. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, is loyalty still in this day and time? Is it still a thing? Does it exist? Or does loyalty, if it does exist, does it have an expiration date? What do you say to that?
Oh, I for some people, loyalty will never have an expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
Your commitment or your sentiment toward a particular thing, person, place, whatever. I mean, it can, and I totally agree with Cap and Cap. I'm glad you're doing better. You definitely want to make sure that that you stay committed to God regardless, because man will do you any kind of way, but God is always faithful.
Mm-hmm.
He's always there. And I unfortunately, I had loyalties to a gang as a kid from 11 to 15 when I got pregnant. And I thought these were my ride or die, as they used to call it.
Yeah.
I call it ride or live now.
Mm-hmm.
But man, the minute I said I wanted out, I had to fight people. These are people who say they love me. They cared about me. They had my back to the end. And they made me fight them to get out of something that I thought was family. That didn't make any sense to me. So I learned how to check loyalty way back then as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Like no. People want to be or say that they're loyal to you as long as you're doing what they say.
Yeah.
Once you cross over that, that's like relationship with men and women in abusive relationships, whether it's the woman abusing the man or the man abusing the women. Some of these people are loyal unto death. I am not going to be loyal unto death to somebody that is doing me wrong, or an organization that is doing me wrong.
That's right.
It's not going to happen.
That's right.
So you have to think about all of that.
Mm-hmm. Just doesn't make sense, does it?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Rico, talk to me, brother.
See, what we're talking about now is right up my alley, because I am not unconditionally loyal to anybody or anything on this planet but me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never be unconditionally loyal. I done seen parents kill their children and children kill their parents.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen in this world.
Yeah.
And I've seen some situations where people say, well, you know what, man, I ain't going to say nothing because that's my family. That's still my child. Your child been running around here robbing, killing people and molesting and raping.
Mm.
I ain't loyal to that.
No.
It goes down to some people being loyal to their careers and loyal to a job, loyal to a system. Like those policemen that were loyal to the system that allowed that man to keep his knee on George Floyd neck.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of them said, hey, wait a minute, man. I know I swore and I took an oath to do this and that, but I ain't with this right here. That man can't breathe. Get up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you being insubordinate? No, I'm being human. Get up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about this job title. I don't care about your job title. Get off the man's neck.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do this.
Mm-hmm.
This might be my first day. When those policemen did that in Memphis, I figure at least two of the people from the black fraternity would have said, wait a minute, man. This is out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Unrighteous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I am not down with this.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't do it. Said you can't beat them, join them.
Mm-hmm.
5 policemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
On one man that had he put on the uniform, he looked identical to them. Well, almost exactly like them. I mean, so I ain't loyal to it. You know, when is that expiration date? The minute you see that there's wrongdoing and unrighteousness going on, the minute it goes against a principle of morals, you know, corporations are so loyal to the system of business and economics and capitalism that they don't care nothing about the people that's getting poisoned from the waste from these companies, the pollution from Monsanto and the PCBs that they putting in these foods. Don't nobody care nothing about that. They worry about that bottom line.
Yeah.
Because they're loyal to the dollar in the market and Wall Street and all that good economic stuff because it's all good. And we love capitalism and, you know, we love all those good things that take precedence over the fact that you got some people that's losing and they suffering and they dying. And the children are suffering and they having health issues, mental and physical. But you can't stop it because it's going to be too much money lost. Right now, we still using gasoline.
Yeah.
Ain't that something? We still using gasoline. We don't went from a regular airplane and a balloon to flying to the outer edges of space. And we still using gasoline. But those machines not running on gas. Ain't that something? So, I mean, you know, you think about who's going to lose. What are they loyal to? They loyal to that dollar. They don't want to stop using gasoline. They don't want to stop using dirty energy when it's clean electricity out there, clean energy we could use. So it's what are you loyal to? You know, I can say it over and over and over again. What is your value system built on? What is your obsession, your addiction, your desire? Or what is it that makes you feel good or that you are comfortable with that you remain loyal to it? I can't be unconditionally loyal to anybody else's, I'm going to say, culture, a standpoint or belief system. I'll never be unconditionally loyal to that because, you know, I know that gift of discernment is meant for that reason, to understand when you got to say no, and this is just not wrong. Just because everybody else is doing it, don't mean that it's right.
Exactly.
So, you know, to me, it's very easy to say that, you know, loyalty does have an expiration date. It'll never be unconditional to me.
508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. We're talking about loyalty. Is loyalty real? Does it still exist in this day and time? Does it even have an expiration date? Are you loyal today and tomorrow you don't care one iota about whoever you was loyal to yesterday? Let me go to, we got our Shanavia. Shanavia, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Let's talk about loyalty. Does loyalty still exist? And if it does it even have an expiration date? What do you say to that?
I'm going to say yes, loyalty still exists, but what that looks like from person to person, I think is different. Because my definition of loyalty and how I hold it versus your definition of loyalty and how you value it could be two completely different things. But some people, I feel like some people, when they say that I'm loyal to a fault, sometimes that means that I'm tolerable to a fault, because loyalty to me is somewhat like a social contract. And with that, that means that I'm assuming, or either we have discussed, that we have somewhat of the same value system and morals to even hold each other accountable. And that's the biggest thing. People feel like that if I'm loyal to a father, that means that I can't hold you accountable for your wrongdoing. Now, for me, if I'm telling you that I'm loyal to you and you're loyal to me, then my assumption is, even if I'm wrong, and you're telling me that you're trusting me that if you're wrong, then I have the right then to hold you accountable for that wrongdoing, whatever that may be. And some people would be like, well, you're not loyal then. No, I'm not tolerable to a fault. I'm loyal to you, but I'm not tolerable to your bull. And does it have an expiration date? That depends on the individual. For me, when it becomes a detriment to my safety and well-being, and if I see that it's a that it's a detriment to your safety and well-being, then for me, I feel like that I have a duty to let you know that, hey, this may not be the smartest thing for you to do, but this doesn't feel good to me because it's harming me in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So I'm a holler.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to go out and air your dirty laundry or anything like that. That's loyal. But I'm also not about to unconditionally tolerate your bull when it becomes a detriment to my safety and well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that answers the question, but that's just my thought process.
You absolutely answered the question, but I think I heard you say if it gets crazy, you put them 2 fingers up, deuces.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can't. We don't do jail willingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Zamari, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart?
Rico, you're on fire today. I'm just going to say that. Like, you really are. You are on fire today. And I love what he said, because he said it best, right? He said, I am loyal to no one except myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big key factor, right? Because I think by being loyal to someone or something else, we do forget that we first have to be loyal to ourselves. And our belief system, our ideals, are we, what's the word? Are we lowering our standards by being loyal to this other thing?
Mm-hmm.
Are we somehow losing our own self by being loyal to this other thing? So it's important that we ask ourselves those questions internally. By doing this, does this line up with me?
Mm-hmm.
With my standards? And if not, then it's definitely not going there, whether it's a friendship or anything. You can put that on anything. So I mean, you guys are on fire today. But that just really hit me hard when he said that, because it's like, wow, we forget about that so easily. Loyal to self first and always.
Exactly. Cap, talk to me, Cap.
Well, I totally agree with my sister that, man, I don't know, you throw Rico some busted eggs, he will make an omelet out of it. I don't know how he do it. We call him CNN, C Negro News. He give us an update of what's going on around the world in one question. But I really, really appreciate what he said, because he most certainly cannot be unconditionally committed or loyal to anything. Unconditionally meaning no matter what. We ride and die. No matter, if you a fool, I catch you with my wife. We're part of a gang, and the word is you're gonna tiptoe out my back door, and then all of a sudden I find out, but I'm still loyal to you, because we sit there and made an oath, do or die forever. Bad boy forever. No. I think, we're living in an age where what I said, loyalty for the right reason is very rare today, and it shouldn't be that way. As he mentioned about those officers that beat that brother to death. Well, it does make a very loud statement that brutality has no color. And we're not going to trade in as we march and protest around the country about police brutalizing us. We don't trade in black brutality, trade in white brutality for black brutality. So we have to realize that we have to get past the color game.
Yeah.
Those who are your kin folks, those who are your skin folks, not always your kin folks. We're growing. That's what I'm saying, Raheem. We're growing. Be loyal to truth, man. Be loyal to God. And there's no question about it. You got to be loyal to yourself.
Yes.
If you ain't loyal to yourself, my God, then there's no such thing as loyalty. But
That's
I
right.
do believe that we're living in an age where, we have to discern, or we have to decipher truth. I mean, it's coming rapidly every day, man. You turn on the news and get yourself settled to deal with one aspect of the news. You're distracted by something more horrible than that. That was a horrible crime.
Yeah.
But right now, the governor of Georgia has declared a state of emergency and bringing out the National Guard there in Georgia because of the protests, and not because of why the protesters protesting. So you're looking at all around the world, there is no peace. There's madness and mayhem everywhere. And thank God that we all today on this show, I listen to how everybody answer your question, Raheem. And I say to myself, man, there are some brilliant people on this show.
Yes, sir.
And you know how I can say you're brilliant? You're able to articulate yourself in a way that even if I was thinking that, your articulation to the question made me see what's right. Man, this is an awesome thing. So I think the key is we're loyal to the Morning Glow. We're loyal to you, Brother Raheem.
Praise God.
As long as what you're talking about makes sense. We're loyal to the show.
Yes, sir.
As long as the show is meant to elevate.
Yes, sir.
We're loyal to that. But the main thing I think every one of us have on this show, we're loyal to truth.
Absolutely.
Regardless of class, creed, or color. You can't lose when you're loyal to truth, because truth is God and God is truth.
Absolutely.
Can I get an amen on
Hey,
that?
you get 2 or 3 amens, brother. We're gonna pass the plate. We about to pass the plate. We're about to pass the plate and collect some money because it's offering time. It is offering time. But listen, let me go to Tucson. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother?
So that just makes me ask the question: does loyalty have standards, or should it have a standard? Because I'm gonna go so far. When I think about when every once in a while it get ugly around here because somebody comes and they have their own agenda. It get ugly then. Because some people are loyal to their own voice and they don't want to hear nobody else. You're not even listening. You come in here, I'm sorry. You come in here and it's just, we talking about a particular subject. And, people like to hear themselves talk. And then the war starts right here on Morning Glow.
Lord Jesus.
I'm sorry, Raheem. I'm sorry. But you know what I'm talking about without saying it. But what I'm saying is, should loyalty have a standard? Because, look, love you all, I promise you. But if you head in a different direction than other than where we are, I'm out. I promise you. If we start talking about stuff that don't matter, it's not helping people. This is a Christian broadcast, and sometimes we get to the point where it get kind of rough around here.
Yes,
but
sir.
we stay on course.
Yeah.
But we stay on course, and the reason why it get rough because somebody comes and they're not on course. There's a certain standard about this Morning Glow, and we kind of keep it tight. We invite everybody, and we don't exclude anybody.
Yeah,
it's not about race. This is a black, I believe, Christian broadcast, right?
Yeah.
Cap, you Christian? You sound like a Baptist preacher. But last I checked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Jamara, you don't look like a sister, but you make sense. You sound Christian too. I mean, not the old foul type Christian. I'm talking about just wholesome righteousness. You know, there are people that have standards. So that's my question. Should our loyalty have a standard? Because people are loyal to the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Badger, talk to me, brother.
I was thinking about, can we be so loyal to ourselves and it get in the way of being loyal to something greater than us? Can we be loyal to something and forget to be loyal to love and light? Like, what can it be a bad thing? Like, you know, I'm hearing Donald say, talking about standards. You know, when should we walk away from it?
Mm-hmm.
When should we, you know, make it stronger? You know, I believe that loyalty to God is first.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's if we're married, then it's our spouse and kids. Then it's ourselves. Then it's the rest of humanity.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Cassandra, what's on your heart? I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought. Go ahead. Finish your thought, Badger.
Is that a good way to live?
Cassandra? Yeah, you know, I love the idea of people being loyal. And you know, last night I had an experience with this weekend I start shooting my TV show again. And it's been like 3 years since I've been trying to get this show back because we had COVID and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my main, and I'm not paying these actors right now because of my health and stuff. I can't afford to pay them. And every actor that is a part of the vision that God has given me, they were calling me saying, Miss Cassandra, when are we going to get started? I'm excited. And I said, well, listen, I can't pay y'all right now. You know, I just don't have it. I have not lost, yes, one person. And the only reason they're gone is because they moved to California.
Okay.
To me, that is loyalty. Every star of my show, every co-star of my show, my entire crew, everyone is coming back and working for free. To me, that was an example of loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And after we had a meeting last night on Zoom, I came home and I cried. I cried because I was like, God, these people are committed to a vision that you gave me, but they are all in. That is what I see as loyalty.
Yes.
And that is what I think we should have toward each other when we see people are trying to do something good and something positive.
Why don't we, Cassandra?
I don't know. I just don't know why we will not commit to things that we know are for the good, and not just, you know, something like my TV show. I'm talking about anything.
Yeah.
I feel like the Black organizations, SCLC, NAACP, I feel like a lot of these people have dropped the ball. If they're not loyal or committed to what the organization said they stood from in the beginning. And I'm still a part of SCLC right now, which I'm backing away from that. But I need to see organizations like that actually live up to who they say they are and stop with the BS and money and all this crazy stuff. I'm sorry. I don't care who don't like it. It's the truth. Check out what they're doing, and they're not doing what they started out doing when they were organized.
Exactly. Wow. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I think you heard people express how they feel about loyalty to a point. But one, loyalty is something you choose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's completely up to you to be loyal to. That's how we know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What you're loyal to tells a lot about who you are.
Who you lining
And
yourself
you
up
don't
with?
have. Say that again, sir.
Who you lining yourself up with? Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Like say for instance, we use the term "get in where you fit in."
Yeah.
You may not. You may not be able to do what I do or what Miss Cassandra does or how she does it. But one, you can still fit in, and you can establish a mission and a vision, and those people who are like-minded will join with you in your effort.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I'm the first one on this show to say, hold on, describe and clarify who we are. Because I'm not some of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
When we're going to talk about community, what is it about? What is that community about? What does the community represent?
Mm-hmm.
Cap said it best. All skin ain't kin.
Yeah.
Look, the blacker you are don't mean you down with everything the next black person is with. So we have to be very careful on who we align ourselves with and pledge our loyalty to.
Mm-hmm.
What we commit to tells who you are.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
If you don't like something, quit showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Quit supporting it. You got a lot of people talking about, I do this and I do that, but you won't do what's asked.
Mm-hmm.
You have organizations that have come together to accomplish a certain goal. If you're about that, join that organization and help them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we fight for every day as activists. Like, say, for instance, someone mentioned how the governor is preparing for this and preparing this. I'm not down with all that. I don't know what the people down there, what they're so mad about as it relates to the training center. But obviously, they're loyal to something because look at what they did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some people are loyal to chaos.
Oh, yeah.
They would there with no control whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
No organization whatsoever. We just want to do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, how we want to do it. So let's just go down here and burn some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
You loyal to that?
Are
you loyal to that?
I'm not. No.
Right. But you have a lot of people that are going to do that. And they're going down there for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to determine, hey, man, yeah, I'm against police brutality, but I don't support the destruction of other people's property.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So you have to be very careful. You have to have some standards. Loyalty does establish a standard. That's what loyalty is about.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. Talking about loyalty. Friday. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, sis. Doing good. We're talking about loyalty. Does it still exist, or is it like finding the needle in a haystack? What do you say to that?
I would say that loyalty is. That's how to make me run off the road. Sorry. So loyalty is something I believe is still present in there, but it's not in the high percentage or percentile.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of times it's a sliding scale, and sometimes people don't realize because it's not a intentional position. Don't even realize what they're loyal to, because they tend to just continue to go with the flow. So they're loyal to going with the flow, right?
Uh-huh.
And then some of these, I heard mentioned some of these organizations and things like that. A lot of times there are opportunities for this to their vision and mission statement that they put out to should be what their goals do, because they're looking for a high profile situation or a big bank to show up. And because of that, it's degraded their position or appearance of loyalty to their cause or their mission and vision statement. And then the help that could come to help them continue is diminished and overlooked, or people tend to shy away from because they've not been shown themselves to be that way. But as individual people, I believe that the loyalty is something that's still there. I just don't believe that in the intentional position that people take as much as they used to before. And it really circles back down to, are they loyal to themselves? And, you know, if they are faith-based, and hopefully people find a position of faith for me in Christianity, am I even loyal to that, right? Because that, my relationship with God says a lot about how relationships are with other people, and reveals places where I can improve and be better on. But if I'm not even loyal to that, of ensuring, not that we don't fall short, but then that's where we ask forgiveness and say, you know, whatnot, and hopefully receive it. But all that is part of loyalty, because nobody's perfect. But am I swish-washing and going with the wind or every other thing because it sounds good or maybe give me some likes or rates or popularity?
Wow. Let me go to a Navy. Navy, what's on your heart? Since we're talking about loyalty, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm just listening to what everybody else has said, but I don't know if I have any more else to add to it other than what I originally said. That's like what that loyalty looks like depends on each person and what their standards are. Like, yes, we're loyal to ourselves, but what is self-loyal to? And how does that look to other people? Because depending on what that is inside of you is going to determine what you draw and what other people hold your standard of loyalty to be. If you're a snaky person, then they're going to be like, okay, well, you're loyal only to a certain thing, and that could change whenever the wind blows. So, I don't really know if I have anything else to add to it other than just doubling down on what I said originally.
Let me ask you this, Navy. Do you think, and you said something in what you just said, you said loyal to themselves and stuff like that, or how people see them or how people view them in a nutshell. Do you think people really care how other people see them? Whether they feel as though they're loyal or just don't give a hoot or what? Do you think people in this day and time, do people really care?
I think we do to a certain degree. I don't think that people are like going to lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
And then again, some people may. But again, that's kind of like a loaded question because it's not like a one size fit all answer to it. That goes back to the individual. What may not bother me may send you over the cliff.
Okay. That's good.
Right.
So yes, sir.
And anybody can answer it that made a comment about it. Could you explain to me what self-loyalty is?
If you want me to answer, I think it's a dedication. It's a dedication to yourself, and when you prioritize yourself over a lot of situations that you place yourself in. It's a dedication to yourself.
So
an unconditional dedication to yourself. Go ahead.
I think it's more of, well, when I say it, I'm coming from the position of self-loyalty, meaning I have established standards for myself, and no matter the situation, even if it's unpleasant, I'm not playing that, because at the end of the day, I got to look myself here. So when I say that reference, that's how I'm implying it.
Not uncompromising, basically. Zamari, Rico, coming to you next. I know you got something on your heart that you want to say about the SELC and stuff like that. Let me go to Zamari. Rico, I'm coming to you. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis?
Go ahead and go to Rico, because I don't think I really have anything else to add. The question was already answered, so
okay.
I think I'm good.
Okay, Rico.
Yeah, I was glad that Cassandra went there, because it's funny. I had this conversation last night. Well, I had this conversation a few times with a few different people here recently, especially since this happened with those cops. You remember we was talking last week the week before last on Martin Luther King Jr. birthday, and I was talking about how nobody really posted it that Sunday or that Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But then everybody went crazy about Kobe yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It shows you what people are loyal to and what they're dedicated to, what their passion is.
Mm-hmm.
I think this loyalty thing, when you ask, do people care? They care about what they're truly loyal to.
Mm-hmm.
See, they might stand for a lot of things, but then there's gonna be something they are not gonna sacrifice.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, they do care. I mean, if they didn't care, then people wouldn't be loyal to anything, and then we wouldn't have nothing to survive, even this negative behavior that survived. I mean, some people are loyal to drill music because of the money they didn't make, so they ain't fixing to stop making it. They don't care about how many of these children's moms are sad because they're hearing them saying their names over and over in all the songs and disrespecting the deaths, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I during that Martin Luther King thing, man, you know, I brought up a situation where a guy had asked some fraternity members, you know, how everything went, and they were talking about how they enjoyed the breakfast that morning that they were the event.
Mm-hmm.
How the unity, it was good to see all the unity and all the people were there. You know, I read the story that they gave about the singing and the dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was part of the ceremony. So then he started asking some other fraternity members, black fraternity members, if they wanted to make some comments about what was going on in the community, you know what I'm saying, and they didn't want to speak on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this same conversation is what got the black fraternity started.
Yep. So
Cassandra said something that's key, because I said the same thing. The loyalties have changed. And with the SCLC and the NAACP, they have sort of lost their momentum. They don't have the appeal that they had, because somewhere the focus changed and the value system changed. And in some instances, you had scandals became involved. And all in all, the biggest thing that made all these things exist is not the focus anymore. That's the blackness. So like I heard what Captain Dennis and what Leonard was saying about, you know, all of our skin focus, not our skin focus, not our kin focus, and that's true. But at the same time, if we're not careful, we'll drift into being loyal to a badge, and we'll sound like that cop on Bad Boys in the Hoods is, I hate you little niggas.
Yeah, yeah. Hey.
You get what I'm saying? And so we think about Rodney King. That guy in Memphis the other night was beat worse than Rodney King.
Yep.
So somewhere, the black fraternity in those cops didn't mean nothing no more. That blackness that made them proud to be Omegas,
yeah,
didn't mean nothing when they was beating that black man like that, worse than those guys did Rodney King. When they looked in the mirror, it was still the loyalty to the badge and the loyalty to whatever community or group that they are dedicated to or that they're a part of right now that came before this black man. So, you know, you think about what's going on in our community. You think about the value system and the standards and what people are loyal to, and you can sort of see what's going on. I mean, when you got, 5 black cops, 2 of them are Omegas. Divine 9 black fraternities. That's excellence. That's black excellence. Boulay. They're supposed to be the upper class, upper echelon of the black community. But that blackness did not mean anything.
Wow.
And to come to find out, the guy hadn't even done anything wrong. So
Exactly.
I mean, you know, we done lost our way. This is a conversation that needs to be had. You know, when we really get down to it, we still, as a community, need to ask ourselves, how is it that we can get caught up in the American way and in the system of how things go to the point of where we lose focus of who we are and what we have gone through in our experience? There is nowhere in the world that black people know this judicial system and know the injustice that has gone on should have to worry about other black men in this judicial system doing them worse than the white guys do.
Exactly. And that's what I said we was going to go at the top of the hour. We're a few minutes before that, but we're going to talk about the Memphis gang. And I call them a gang because if you look at if you view the act, if the video supposed to be coming out today, I don't even know if I really want to see it. I don't even know if I want to look at it, be honest with you. But it's supposed to be released today. At some point today, it's supposed to be released. And if you take those uniforms, if you take those uniforms off those young men, and you look at it for what it is without those uniforms on, most people will say that was gang activity. That's a gang. Look at them gang. That gang over there beating up them guys. Take the uniforms off. Take the uniform out of your mind. And
Black
look
on black crime too.
exactly.
Black on black crime.
And look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. Look at what's happening. And that look like a gang beating up somebody. Maybe like Cassandra said, maybe beating them in or beating them out. But at the same time, still disrespecting that individual. Now you got to understand that now they have a uniform on. Does that make it right?
You know what got me, Raheem?
What's that?
Is I thought about the fact that one of those cops could have been out of town trying to have a good time with their family and pulled over and not had their uniform on, and that could have been them on the receiving end.
Exactly. And so that's why I say the Memphis gang, because it's so many different levels on this that we're talking about right now, and we're gonna spend the rest of the broadcast talking about the Memphis gang and what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and what do we have to do to make sure that this type thing does not happen again. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
I was going to raise my hand because you can what you stand for is you can put a suit, a mask, a Klan suit, a uniform, put him in the military. You can put a priest collar on it. But if he a spade, he a spade. You're and I lost. I'm just saying that it'll define who you are, regardless. I heard Rico say a couple of them was Omega. They just wear the title, but they don't represent who Omega really are. Not Total or any other fraternity or whatever you want to call them. These police officers don't represent police officers. Because if the tables would turn, it would be them. They cover themselves. They covered themselves in black skin and uniform. I'm just saying. That's what I see. Because I wouldn't consider them to be, maybe they are at the barbecue, but they're not the type of people that I would call brother. Because we're not supposed to do each other like that. That don't make no sense to me. So when we dedicate ourselves to something, it seems like when you dedicate yourself to something, it shows your character, what you really like. So you can dress it up and you can mask it up, but the true man will always come out, no matter what you do. So that's what's on.
Exactly. Cassandra, talk to me, sis.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Okay.
What?
Okay. So no, because when I saw that those 5 officers were black, I'll be totally honest. It hurt. It hurt. It really hurt, because if nobody else should have known better, 5 black men, man, that thing, I was like,
yes,
okay, what the heck just happened with this? Because
and for the record,
y'all young
and
black
for the record,
men on
and
top of that, y'all young,
she
these
didn't
are
say
young
heck.
black men. and you had no more respect for
Come on.
another black man,
Come on.
well, anybody, because I don't want to see them do that to anybody.
Exactly.
But the fact that you see, just like everybody said, you seen what has happened to our men over and over and over and over again, and you had the audacity with your overly proud, arrogant self to beat that child to death. Man, please.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, they need to throw the book at y'all. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Badger, talk to me, brother.
There is so much going on. I don't even. What did the question change to exactly?
No, we talking about the situation with the Memphis 5 Memphis police officers that beat their young black man to death.
Oh dear God.
Do you know the story?
I know a little bit of it. Things like that anger me so much that sometimes it's the people that are able to handle it and, that are going to be, I have no doubt, fighting it and making sure those people will receive justice. I support the ones that are going to seek justice in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much going on just in our country alone, more without even taking into consideration worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an absolute disturbing situation all around. And the thing that probably bothers me the most about that, if I understand it correctly, I think all the cops are black, right?
Yes, all of them was. Yes.
The part that's going to piss me off the most about that situation is all these moronic, idiotic white folks that are going to go, see, there's black on black crime. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that's going to anger me the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to make sure I can take care of my family and not get too angry to go get put in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just some things I don't feel I'm called to handle. That's one of them.
Absolutely. Leonard, what's on your heart behind this whole situation?
Well, what's on my heart in every last one of them.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
They need to be sentenced to the strictest laws that we have, and if we find we don't have any strict enough, we need to go back and make sure. I hold them to a higher level of scrutiny because they are police officers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no respect for them because they were black.
Mm-hmm.
They're police officers. They have always been the perpetrator of this type of crime on black people.
So you don't think this is the first time?
No, it's definitely the people that shot up Jamarion Robinson was black folks in there. I mean, if you don't get involved, you don't realize they got black cops doing just as much dirt as white cops. Them two or three y'all see on the TV ain't about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You got the most wickedest folks with black faces behind badges. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's you give them the permission to behave the way they behave is where you fail. And it don't matter whether they black, white, green, or what have you. See, before a police officer even gets involved, he should automatically know that he will lose his job, he will lose his pension, and he will immediately be sentenced to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Make the law say that, and then you won't even be talking about race.
Yeah. Wow.
Hold them to a higher standard because they are police officers.
Mm-hmm.
All this notion, and that's why I get heated with people that think that this color of the skin is a way to solve a problem. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. You can get rid of all the white people. You still gonna have police brutality.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And this notion that people have been misusing race so often, now people don't know what to say or what to do. Because now you're so shocked and you're so surprised because what has happened don't fit into your narrow-minded definition of the problem. The problem is you're not voting for individuals who have change as a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Make lawmakers commit to you for your vote to change how they handle these issues.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
Not just state level, city level, but also the federal level.
Mm-hmm.
Police need to be held to a higher standard of the law simply because these people get qualified immunity. They get permission to kill citizens at will.
Mm-hmm.
This boy is dead. I don't need to see no tape.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That tape is for evidence to sentence these individuals and convict them for what they did. Not for my entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
The story is over. That brother is dead. It don't matter how they killed him. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Now put it in front of the judge that has the same priority for justice that everybody else has in these streets when it comes to this. You got to protest, and like say for instance, some people want to protest right now, right?
Yeah.
But there's a process. That these officers still get due process. So if you're committed to justice, you need to be committed to due process.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all just want some rope and you want to go out there and you want to hang. That ain't due process. So what are you committed to? Are you committed to justice or your emotion?
Wow, that's good. That's good. Stay right there for a second, brother. Stay right there for a second. Let me and there's so many different levels tied into this thing. Let me go to Navy. Navy, what's on your heart, sis? Hold on. I just left Navy. Let me go to we got Cap back. Cap, good morning. Good morning again, sir. How you? Good to have you back. We're talking about the Memphis gang. The Memphis gang. I call them the Memphis gang, even though they did have police uniforms on, and how they conducted themselves in that situation around beating this young black man. 5 black officers beat this black man to death. That's gang.
Well,
go ahead.
I like what my brother Professor Leonard said. He is clearly. I like how he thinks. He tried to always take the color out the equation and show the principle. He's right. I train law enforcement. And it ain't got nothing to do with color no more when it comes to them. It ain't got nothing to do because he's black. He should know better. He goes through his same equal training that his white counterpart goes through.
Mm-hmm.
He swears the same oath that his white counterpart does to protect and to serve. The sad part when it comes to us of people who have been abused, not by color, but we've been abused by a system that feeds power to the color.
Yeah.
The sick culture of law enforcement. It's a sick culture. It turns good people into bad people. It turns you from black to blue. It turns you from yellow to blue. It turns you from brown to blue. It turns you from white to blue. No matter what your ethnicity is, when you get in that law enforcement culture, you turn to blue. That's why those Asians can stand there and watch that other cop put his knee on our brother. It ain't got nothing to do with color no more. They are adapting to a sick system. A system that was designed, its very root is abuse. Its very root is racism. So now, we got the whole I like it. Yes, we heck with the fact that these were brothers. And he was police officers, but I'm not going to negate the fact that don't get mad at me because I should see the black police officer having a little bit more sympathetic to his own kind. Don't get mad at me because when I see a black police officer, I should feel a sense of safety and security. Get mad at me that I look themselves. So you give a man to hate himself a badge. So he brings his self-hatred attitude to his job and his profession. Those brothers are men of self-hatred.
Yeah.
Something that we experience, Brother Ryan, every day in the black community.
Yeah.
We are victims of self-hatred. So how do you address that? Heck, it was 5 black police officers. They weren't 5 black police officers. They was 5 officers. Ain't nothing black about them at all. They was 5 blue police officers. How do you go and turn around a culture that is designed to turn you from black to blue? These men in blue, they're so committed and loyal to the daggone brotherhood that they would turn their blind eye on their white counterpart who has a history of abuse. Some of them, not all police officers. There are some wonderful men and women, black and white, who are some wonderful law enforcement. I know them. You're not going to lay that at Captain Dennis and say, he think, no. They do a disservice to men and women who take and believe in that doggone oath. They do a disservice to a community that pays taxes that deserve to be protected and served. They do a disservice. When are we going to begin to realize we got to begin to see people as human beings and get out the color game, because God is trying to tell us something? That, to me, is a teaching moment, because it kind of confuses us now. We don't know to be mad at white folks. We don't know to be mad at black folks. We don't know who to be mad at no more. You know what the reality is?
What's that?
God is taking us out the color game. He's taking us out the color game, family. We got to see each other as human beings, charge them with being abusive human beings. And that's the sad thing. That's how you know we at the end. Because the very thing that gives us love and peace to be the love for human compassion. And there's no more compassion for fellow human beings. We lost, man. We got no more compassion. And so it's sad that, you know, it's going to bring some of the greatest conversations going to come out of it just happen. I am definitely already a part of it. I got 5 top brass police. How do you deal with that now? So when I go and train these police officers, I'm not looking, well, there's a black officer that he going to understand. Well, see, no. When I look at that black police officer sitting in that training class with me, I already could tell he's a robot. That's not a human being behind that man. I got to say on my captain, get your mind off of color. Peel back the layers of the onion. But when you peel back the layers of the onion, you can see who they really are.
Exactly.
That's a blue man. That ain't a black man. So that's what I have to say. I'm sorry, brother.
Good deal. Good deal. Zamari, what's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand this story. So I looked it up a little bit, you know, and like what I'm saying in here, it's, there's so many questions that I have. And like one of the things I said is like, we probably won't know the whole story of everything that happened and everything that it encompasses until these boys go to trial, right? You know, because, and how long is that going to be? That could be 6 months, a year. But I am curious. I'm really curious. Like, did these boys, these group of officers, did they have other things that they did that weren't flagged by their department? Were there other offenses that they had against them and they were just slapped on the hand and said, hey, you know, look, this is a warning, don't do it again? How many times did those things happen leading up to this particular incident, this particular moment where somebody lost their life? And I mean, my God, I'm looking at the charges, right? They've got 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of official misconduct, official oppression, aggravated assault, and second-degree murder. So to me, there's all of these red flags somewhere. I'm sure there had to have been long before this incident took place. So why was it not put in check? Why were these boys not put in check long before it could get here?
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is it's saying here, right? They're a part of some, or they're supposed to be part of some group that were assembled a year earlier, it says, to deal with high number of serious crimes. When is reckless driving, when was that considered a serious crime? Because by that alone, right, they had no business pulling them over. A raid team's not going to pull you over for reckless driving. That's not what they do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
it seems to me like they were looking for trouble. They were looking for someone to target. But like I said, we're not going to know the whole scope of everything until these boys go to trial or after.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a messy thing. I hate news stories like this, and I hate when they're so fresh and we kind of try to, like, we can put our opinion in there and how we feel about it. And yes, this man lost his life. I'm not taking away from that. That is freaking terrible. And according to what these charges are, these men need to be held accountable. But my point is, why weren't they held accountable to whatever actions led up to this before? Because I promise you there was stuff that for this, and it got looked over, and that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lack of, and I can't speak on this because I don't know, I'm not an officer, but for me, it seems there is a lack of training, continuous training that is being done with our officers. And there's actually a chief in, I believe, Texas, who speaks on this frequently, where our officers are not properly and continuously and correctly trained on a regular basis the way that they need to be to handle all of these different situations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a messy thing, dude. It's a messy thing. And yeah, I hope they go to jail. I hope they serve time. And I hope that they lose their badge indefinitely, that they are never allowed to serve the communities again. Because that is not what I want in my community. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be afraid that if they're just driving just a little bit away from their house, because according to this, he wasn't very far from his house at all when this took place.
Wow.
So I don't want to be afraid that if I'm just going out in my car, it says he was 250 feet from his home. That's what this says.
Right
if I'm
there.
250 feet from my home, I don't want to be afraid that I'm going to get pulled over, my husband's going to get pulled over, and a situation like this is going to happen. I shouldn't have to be worried about that. I shouldn't have to be afraid of that happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. And it is. And it absolutely is. Rico, talk to me, brother.
You know, man, this is going to sound like I'm against countering people. But I think the problem is that we have taken blackness out of it. I think the problem is those black guys that became robots and stopped being black men. They became cops. You know, I think if you heard an Asian or a Jewish person say take Jew or Asian out of it, that wouldn't happen. Because they know they still have their issues that they have to deal with within the system. Now, we as black men or black people, we tend to want to take blackness out of it, but we don't have the power to do that. Want to know how I know? The people being exonerated from prison for crimes they didn't commit shows me that most of them are black. You start looking at the numbers and the rates of imprisonment, false imprisonments, all of these different things. Then black ain't taken out of it. They might say it ain't a black thing, it's a crime thing, but then we'll find out, wait a minute, they're giving us different sentences of different rates of sentences.
Yeah.
They're giving us a little bit more time for the same crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they got in trouble like Toya did for something she didn't do, and the girl that did it didn't get in trouble.
Yep.
It wasn't race. Toya didn't make it a race issue, but they made it an issue when they did it to her. Mm-hmm. So when these cops go to these shooting ranges and they know that these only cops are at these shooting ranges practicing, and they don't see nothing but targets of black mug shots.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them black cops, they actually said, that's not a black issue. Well, why ain't they using white mug shots? Why ain't they using white targets? Some of those black cops were interviewed still refused to admit that, hey, man, why y'all just using black faces?
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? In Chicago and all these other places where the drill rap is going on and these people killing each other, I think these boys have taken blackness out of it.
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing no more. We more loyal to the set and the gang and the culture. Those policemen are loyal to the culture. And the problem is they forgot about why they even pledged Omega. What happened before them that even gave them an opportunity to probably even be law enforcement, and everything that got them to the point of this day and time where they can live and call themselves free and are able to accomplish the American dream. We want to take blackness out of it, but this is a conversation we got to have. We can't take blackness out of it because that's where the problem happens. Those guys took blackness out of it and they didn't see nothing but another bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But where that culture come from? Why ain't some of them bad guys that they shooting at the target practice? Why ain't some of them pictures white pictures? Why are they pictures of real, actual living people? Why is it that a cop in Miami saw one of those shots and it was his brother? Y'all taking target pictures of target practice of pictures of my brother and other black people? I ain't no white criminal. What about a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a picture of John Wayne Gacy. I'd love to shoot him in his head. You see, somehow we want to feel like blackness isn't a part of it because it makes us feel better about being American and accomplishing this dream and gaining in democracy and capitalism and being intellectual. And these same intellectual Omegas took blackness out of it. Well, why ain't they pledge some white fraternity?
Mm-hmm. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, you there?
They should have known better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And K with E, I know you're there. System coming to you next.
Come back to me. I'm on the phone with Spectrum.
Okay. Cassandra, has violence corrupted our whole community? When I say community, I mean black, white, orange, polka dots, or stripes, or whatever. Have violence corrupted us?
Of course. And that's anywhere you go. Because here in Georgia, we've had killings in Buckhead, Alpharetta. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. And those are people that don't know that those are higher end people. So violence hits everywhere. It's not just hitting our communities, black communities, not poor communities. It's going into your rural areas. It's going into your suburbs. So everybody needs to be concerned right now about what's happening when it comes to violence. I don't care where you live in. Mm-hmm. And I'm with somebody that said it earlier. I mean, as Christians, we're living in the last days. You can tell by the way that things are going. Men are lovers of themselves rather than lovers of God. So when you love yourself more than you love God, there is nothing there are no limitations on what you would do. So we should be very concerned about what is happening in our communities, in our state, and even in our world right now. And it is all a sign of the times. Please, I'm only talking to people that know what the Bible says, which is what we Christians believe in. All you got to do is read it. It's very plain, and I hear Cap, that's one thing I love about Cap. He is straight. He said it out of his own mouth. These are signs of the last times, of the last days. So, all I can say to people is we haven't even seen anything yet. That's just my little humble opinion. We haven't even seen anything yet.
Exactly. Tucson, what do you say about that, man? Have violence consumed us as a community? And I mean community of all of us. Has violence just really consumed us? Has it taken over?
No, we consume violence. It's just the opposite. We thrive on it. Watch. You just watch. You just check it out today. How many people waiting for the video to be released? Why are you doing that? What is that going to help? Is it going to change it? And you're going to flock out into the streets, acting a fool, consuming the violence. The violence is already there. You just chasing it.
Wow.
If you stay home, there'll be none. If you shut your mouth and you just be still, it won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
The time you go into your emotions and you feel like because you of a certain group or race, or you feel a certain way, your blood pressure gonna go up and you'll be next.
Mm-hmm.
I got a black suit for you with your crazy self.
Lord.
Yeah, and a book to bed. I'm just saying right here. If we just do right, what sense? You watch between now and the rest of the month. How many times people gonna see that and watch that video over and over again? They're gonna share it and like it and comment on it. They're gonna have shows and TV programs and news reports and this, that, and the other about that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And by February the 15th, we'll forget it and jump on something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it has a violent context to it, whatever happens next, that's where we're going. We ain't gonna talk. I guarantee you, if somebody come talking about peace, nobody will talk about that.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna ride about peace. How you get peace warring?
Mm-hmm.
How that happen?
Yeah. Can't get there.
If you shut your mouth or you be still, how in the world somebody gonna know how to counteract with you? That don't make no sense. What I mean is, if you, why we go? What is it gonna help? What is it gonna help? You gonna have these. And I'm just saying, I don't mean to go here, but I'm gonna go there. Sunday morning service. They studying now, adding that to their message. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus. And they're going to get the people's emotions all stirred up. And they're going to be crying, yeah, go ahead, Ralph. Man, go sit down somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We thrive to violence.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just say, that's just me. It's the other way around right here.
Got you. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? This whole violent thing, man. Is it a cancer that we need to get rid of?
Well, Raheem, it's like, I've always said on this show, and most people who listen know, I am non-biased. I have always fought against police brutality. Mm-hmm. And it do not change because of the color of the officer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've done forums on this. Shout out to Cap. Cap is in the midst of them trying to change them. And it has nothing to do with their color.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being law enforcement and being given permission to kill other citizens.
Mm. Wow.
And I don't know, if you continue to talk about something else, nobody cares nothing about how you feel. These officers not going to be on trial because of the color of their skin.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be on trial for those charges.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got some folks that come to you for help, talking about, yeah, it's racial. They pulled me over. Sir, you was doing 85 and a 25. That's probably why you got pulled over, not because you was black. Trust me, I know it is because you're black.
Mm-hmm.
We can find out if it's because you're black. This is not that.
Mm-hmm.
And it has never been it ever when I've dealt with a lot of these law enforcement agencies because they're so mixed. One of our good sheriffs that we thought was a great guy somehow gets removed and charged with violating someone's civil rights.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
When he has been a champion for civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not from here, you don't know the story of Victor Hill and what happened and how they happened for so long.
Hey, Leonard, something going on with your Leonard. Something is going on with your volume, brother. Are you talking directly into the phone?
Is that better, right?
That's much better. That's much better.
Yeah. So we have to realize that and quit trying to create our own story. This ain't about me.
Mm-hmm.
This is about that man that was killed by people with badges. People who didn't care nothing about him. And it didn't matter that he was black. I ain't never known nobody not kill somebody because they was black.
Mm-hmm.
You kill people you got issues with.
Mm-hmm.
People call it ain't a black on black crime ain't about being black. It's about the issue. And we keep want to make it something else and wonder why it's hard to make so much progress.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think it's about being black, you're not going to be in an effort to change the laws that allow them to do that because you're worried about somebody being black.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Got a couple of things I want to do. One, I want to read. Paul put something up here, and he said, Rico, read this for me. I was going to read it, but go ahead, Rico.
Does the fact that the officers are black change our understanding about racism in law enforcement? Oh, that sounds like an issue. Racism in law enforcement sounds like an issue within law enforcement, a black and white thing. You see, but now this is the situation. Depending on what you want to make the issue about is what you can address it as. But now the elephant in the room is those black men put that uniform on and didn't have much less that he was human, because I'm with Cassandra on that. I wouldn't want to see them do a white man like that. But what did she say struck her when she first seen that? Oh my God, these were some more black men.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow deep down inside, naturally, based off of everything we've been through, she had to say to herself, man, that don't sit right. That is an issue. How is it that black people in whatever environment, man-made, they have become a part of, can look at this situation and then say that I could do another man like this, knowing what we have gone through? That's the issue I want to make it. So if Lila want to make it a judicial issue and make it about police reform, good. That is the surface issue. That is plain and simple what needs to be discussed. But the elephant in the room is, why is it that black people find it so easy to make each other expendable in whatever environment? Just because you're successful, just because you're a police, now you're supposed to throw your blackness away? Is that smart? Being that we in this country, we know this racism in law enforcement exists. Should you as a black man put that uniform on and say, well, you know what? I ain't representing my blackness anymore. I'm representing the system of law, the judicial system. Come on. In America, is that the way we supposed to think? So then we say, well, you know what? Gang violence is bad and drill music is bad. And even though it's only black people doing it, it ain't a black issue. It's just a gang issue. It's just a violence issue. But ain't no Chinese worried about our rappers doing this, and ain't no Asian, ain't nobody, no Jews worried about it. They making money off of it. Ain't nobody worried about it, and we ain't addressing it. So it ain't just in law enforcement, it's all the way around. So this is the issue that y'all, if somebody wants to make it the issue just about this situation, that's cool. In this situation, it's a law enforcement issue. It's a police reform issue. It's about police getting away with violence and having this immunity thing. But in our whole condition of it, blackness and what we're going through, this is a deeper issue. It is a blackness issue. It is a blackness issue when these people have target practice with pictures of people that just look just our color. That's an issue. And if it ain't discussed, then subconsciously you're going to create more policemen that's going to do stuff like this, white and black, toward people that look a certain way for some reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is an issue. We just can't look at it one way. I mean, if you want to just address that issue, cool. But the elephant in the room is that those were some 5 other black men did this to another black man, and they didn't care nothing about him being black, much less being human. And
Exactly.
that's a problem.
Good deal. Good deal. Zamari, I had you listening there.
Rico, I want to ask you, I really am curious because like I said in the chat here, where are they using pictures like that? Because when my husband was an officer, he worked in a jailhouse down south. When he went for target practice, they did not use pictures of black, white, Asian, it didn't matter. It was just an outline. And I still have them. I have them in my closet from target practice. So I'm just wondering, like, where have you seen that? Because I have not seen that.
Somebody could probably pull it up. I think we pulled it up once before, but it was a case recently and then another case in Florida. I think Captain Dennis even spoke on it before. But it was at a target range where police and task force and FBI had been training.
Yeah.
It just so happened one of the black officers came out there and he seen a picture of his brother shot up, and it was all mug shots of black men. It wasn't no white people involved. And then it happened again recently. And they spoke to a black cop about it, and the black cop was like, "Oh, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't think it's racist." But these were living human individuals. So it ain't everywhere. This is not a practice, because that would be busted wide open if it was a common practice. But this is something that happened beneath the surface. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to discuss the subconscious and the sub-level things that happens, because you have a culture that exists that would taint the mind, and then have other black men looking at other black men as super predators and not humans.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Zamari, you have anything else on your heart, sis?
No, I'm just glad he clarified, because I mean, my view, not point of view, but like my range of knowledge in that is very limited, right? I mean, like I said, I don't watch the news regularly. I just don't pay attention to it because it's freaking depressing. I have other things I need to concern myself with than being depressed all the time. So I was just wondering, because like I said, in my experience, my personal experience with my husband doing that, where he worked, that I did not see that. So I was just wondering where that was at, but he cleared it up, and thank you, because wow, if they're doing that, wow, they should not be doing that.
Yeah. And Badger just put something. I hadn't had a chance to look at it, but Badger just put something in the channel on the side as well. I can put it on the screen so everybody can see it. But if you want to go there and look at it, I hadn't looked at it yet, so I don't know what it is. Badger, want to explain what that is? Badger must be away.
I think he said he's still on the phone, honey.
Oh, okay, got you. Let me go to K with the E. You back with us?
I'm back.
Okay, talk to me, sis. What's on your heart? We're talking about the Memphis gang, and I call them a gang, the 5 police officers that beat that young man, and he died, beat him to death. What's on your heart concerning that? How could that happen? How could that be a reality in this day and time?
Because it's a reality, because that's what they doing. They doing it in the streets. What's wrong with the officers? They killing each other in the streets on the regular. You can't even go to the store. You gotta just be cautious of everything you do as a woman, because you don't know if somebody out there filling their oats today that want to rob you and mug you, or try to kidnap you, rape you, and kill you. So we on edge at any given minute. So why officers can't do that? Them same people that's walking through the street, they go down there and apply for them jobs and get them jobs, and they have the same insight. I'm going to give me one of these little niggers, and I'm going to beat them, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And it be our own people that say that, just like our own people backstabbers. Like, the more I get into politics, now I know why my mama got out of politics. Because that's what they doing. Like, you getting beat anyway, they killing us every day. It's all kind of ways to die. We dying every day, and our own race is doing it. So where do we stop it, and how do you end it? That's a good question. That's why he allowed those black cops to do that to a black man, so that we would understand and get off a racist kick, because it ain't just a racist kick. We are racist against our own.
Wow. Wow. Cap, talk to me, sir.
Well, I love this conversation. What came to mind, my sister was saying, she didn't know that they had shooting targets with real mugshots on it. She's trying to figure out how come she didn't get that memo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, when you have what you call predators and you have what you call prey. We've always seen many of our people in the black community, they see the police as predators and we the prey. So prey always up on when there's a new predator in the neighborhood. Prey exchange information. Hey man, you know there's a new predator.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? And they targeting da. So that's just a natural when you live in an environment. Well, we got a target on our back. I have been listen. When I did my training, I'm going to share this with you. I asked this one female cop. I said, "What is the reason you joined the department?" And everybody had to stand up and say it. She stood up and she said, "Oh, why? I joined it because I like to chase the bad guy."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I took my chalk and I gave it to her and told her, I said, "Go up to the blackboard, Officer Kozlowski, and draw me the face of a bad guy." She looked puzzled. I said, "Where do you do your patrolling at?" "We're in the 36th precinct." I said, "What is that?" "Well, that's a predominant black neighborhood."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "The city is predominantly white, but many of your arrests is predominantly black. Is it because you believe that the bad guy is black?" And she got quiet. Because you can't tell me that ain't what you believe. And I know you believe that.
Yeah.
You believe black guys wear bad, white guys wear white. You believe that. So we talked about a silhouette. See, when you shoot at a target, and everybody only know, and I like what Rico and all them saying, when you shoot, that's a black silhouette coming out of a white sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying, why can't it be a white silhouette coming out of a black sheet of paper?
Mm-hmm.
When you put in the mind to shoot at a black silhouette, look at here. The black silhouette don't have a face. It don't have a face. So we were in New York City. It was all in the news. I do it in the training. In roll call in certain precincts, the undercover cops, when they had roll call, they got to wear a certain hat, certain color, so that the other officers in that precinct know they undercover. All right?
Mm-hmm.
They 3 black undercover cops. They're undercover. They wearing a hoodie, but they was just in roll call with the sergeant, a white sergeant. They on the subway train. They say they hit each other. Oh, man, just Sarge. They go to approach Sarge. Sarge looking at them. He don't see the face that these are officers that I know. All he sees is 3 black silhouettes in hoodies coming towards me.
Mm-hmm.
When it came upon him, the Sarge put his hand on his revolver, on his sidearm. And then when they took the hoodie, he go, "Oh, hey, what's up, officer?" You know why? Because in the white officer's mind, he keeps shooting at a black silhouette.
Yep.
The silhouette has no face. I'm just going to shoot at a black. I see the black side. The sad part, brother, right here, I'm going to land this plane. The beautiful thing about this conversation and dialogue is that when you're looking at a person or people that has been abused because of color, race can always be the conversation.
Yeah.
So when Paul said what he said, yes, racism is an issue. And let me tell you something, Paul. There's an issue with black cops with white cops. There's an issue within the department with racism exists among them. And you know why there's an issue? That racism exists among black cops and white cops. They battle inside the department. That's why black cops have to join and organize the black police patrol, the African American patrollee, whatever they want to give. You know why? It's because those cops want to be black.
Mm-hmm.
And the culture wants to turn them blue. And when they refuse to turn blue, then you got friction within the department. So we have to understand there's several layers to this. A family, I love it because you know what it brings out? It brings out a consciousness of what's going on when it comes to those that you look to protect and serve. Yeah. White people in the white neighborhood, they feel good when they see them. And I'm gonna say this, Brother Raheem. Mostly everybody in here, y'all know what I'm saying is the truth. You can go into an area that is predominantly white. You may know some history about that area, that it may be an area of racist, a racist area. But as soon as you see somebody black, you feel comfortable. So what's wrong with black people? Design their own kind. What's wrong with black people wanting to feel comfortable with their own kind? You know why? Because we know they should know the struggle and the pain that we've gone through. That's why we look the way we look, say the things we say. And if you cannot, Rico, you look mighty strange going to a Chinese restaurant and you see a black man back there trying to get you some chicken fried rice. You know? Now, it ain't that we can't make no chicken fried rice. Now, it ain't that we can make no egg foo young. It's just like, wow, man, I mean, you know, I like the Chinese do it. There's nothing wrong with that. It ain't that we can't. It's that you try to go where you know people are good at what they do based upon their culture. And I think we are growing. I love this conversation. And I told you, Ryan, I want to bring some of them brother chiefs on this. I talk to them. They ain't got no problem.
Yeah.
Because you need family on this line. Talk to people that's in law enforcement.
Exactly.
Let us stop guessing. Let's stop guessing. I can bring you some people, man, that serve in law enforcement 20, 25 years. I'm not saying that these guys that I'm bringing on the line wasn't a part of that blue wall assignment. I'm not saying that. Because as long as you're a chief, you know, you do what the Indians do.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
As soon as they get out of being in that, now they want to talk black. I'm not letting them off the hook. Because now they can say what they want to say because there's no consequences of saying it. And we give them a platform to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I got to say right here.
Wait, and like I said, we could do that as soon as next week if you want to, brother. Just just let me know when you want to do it. We'll definitely make it happen. We'll definitely. As a matter of fact,
I think because the situation in Memphis, I think is really. I think they'd be happy to get involved with it.
Okay. Let's set it up. Let's make it happen next week. But I gotta say something to you though, Cap. You just disappointed me though. You just disappointed me, man, because and I'm gonna tell you why you disappointed me. They got the Chinese restaurant, they got the Japanese restaurant, and they serve the shrimp fried rice and all that stuff, man. I was on the market, man. I rolled up all my papers. I already opened up me a black knees restaurant. I was gonna sell some Chinese ribs and all that stuff too, man. I wanted to do it, but you just told me that you rather go to the Chinese man to get it for me. So man, look here, I will go open up a black knees restaurant, man. Come on now, why can't I open my restaurant, man? Why can't you come and buy the food for me, man?
You gonna open up a blazing restaurant, blazing.
And, man, I'm gonna call it Raheem Black Knees and Shrimp. Why can't I do that, man? Why you gonna do me like that, Leonard? What's on your heart, do so I come to you next?
Just thinking about the things that Cap was saying as it relates to these various issues, and what people have to realize: without a proper assessment, you're not gonna come across this. I was in the military and I shot competitive rifle for 6 years. Every target I had was a black target outline, black outline.
Yeah.
That don't make me want to kill black people.
Is there a psyche that goes along? Can there be? I'm not gonna say is there, but can there be a psyche that goes along with that?
Me being a racist makes me want to kill black people. That's what makes you kill black people, is when you're a racist. It don't matter what color the target is. And just to clarify, one, usually you'll see more detail in targeting when it relates to tactical exercises for police training. The incident that occurred with the one area was because the leadership allowed you to use actual people. That's not a common practice throughout law enforcement. That's a local agency that was doing it and nobody knew it, and then someone found out and brought it to the public's attention. You don't use no personal faith. But you know what? Let's switch it up. Since that's the deal. Okay, what if it was pictures of pedophiles? Would that be okay?
Good point, Doc.
Would that
Good
be
point.
okay? Would that be okay? Hey, if you're going to be about justice and righteousness, you got to be about it. And one thing I love about justice and righteousness is it is a constant. It is universal. It goes so far above race foolishness, you wouldn't believe it. We don't go down there fighting because a police officer white. We go down there fighting because he's a police officer misusing authority. Not because he's white. It don't help that he's a white racist. That just makes him more inclined, if you give him this badge, what it is likely he is going to do once he gets that badge. There are black folks, black officers that get badges and things to commit crimes. We got black police officers, not they police officers, and in street gangs. So when you get used to dealing with the people, we did a protest. The boy died in the jail down here. Sheriff pulls me to the side. You know, I don't appreciate them black people calling me less than a black man. I said, well, quit saying stuff that white racists have said in situations like this. And then maybe they wouldn't target you. You brought it on yourself, black man, black deputy. You want to know why these black people protesting against you? It ain't because you black. It's because you allowed that boy to die in that jail.
Okay, good deal.
That's why we're here.
508-9243. Go ahead. Finish your thought, brother.
And so we have to focus on that. And this is why it's so hard to get substantive change, is because once we feel get it out, we go on about our way. Because a lot of people just perform because of the issue. Oh, now we got a reason to tax some stuff up. But you're not going to take your behind down there and vote for a mayor that will put in a race-conscious police chief. You won't elect a black governor that is more likely to intervene and use his power to change what's going on in police agencies in the state.
Wow.
There's a process to this. And being mad and always talking about somebody's color has never solved the problem.
Okay.
Because when we go and find out the facts, we find out we got black folks doing just as much as white folks to black folks.
Okay. Stay right there, Leonard. Stay right there. We got a few more minutes. I want to touch some more people before we get out of here. Don't go nowhere. You stay right there. Two Salt, what's on your heart? And we got another caller coming to you next. Two Salt, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I just makes me understand what color is right. What do we expect right to be? What nationality is it? Because it seems like what we have done is expected better out of somebody else rather than ourselves.
In this world, there's much confusion.
Sing it, Raheem. Sing it, Raheem. No, why is it that we expect every other nationality to do right but us? We supposed to do wrong?
Wow.
Did you see that coming? I mean, officers that just happen to be, they're actually blue. You know that, right?
Yes, sir.
But since their skin color in blue suits, you think maybe you feel better if there was 5 white officers because you didn't expect that out of them, or maybe you did expect that out of them. What color is right? What colors does it have to be for us just to do the right thing? Mankind. I think somebody you can tell a tree by the fruited bear.
Yes.
And a corrupt tree, it can't bear no good fruit. When they put that uniform on, that's who they were. Through training, got training just like everybody else. Took the oath just like everybody else. But I guarantee you, if you search the record, they just got caught this time.
And the and the number got people. Hold on, got people asking for the number. Hold on, let me get the number. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Go ahead, Leonard. Now you know we got some more people here now. Leonard, what's on your heart?
Okay, just talking about what Tucson said, and I'm talking about when you actually not just the 2 or 3 on TV. I look at hundreds of cases. And when you ask these people why they did this, that, and the other, or when we're representing someone or whatever, you want to make an excuse for somebody your color doing wrong, just like white folks do. Just like white folks. You want to give them a break when it's your color. But what about the mother of that dead black child? What about what she has to go through? You think color really matters? She just lost her child. She was a victim of violence perpetrated on her by someone else. Do you think it mattered to her? She feel better if a black boy killed her son or somebody white?
Wow. Hold on right there. Yeah, because it's a lot, Tyler. But Leonard, I gotta come to you and I want you to do something for me. You ready? Oh, you ready?
I thought it was no call. Go ahead. The good bishop. I'm so glad he called.
Bishop, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Now, you know the difference between a good person who becomes a police officer and a bad person who becomes a police officer.
Now, Leonard, what my mute button for Leonard? Leonard ain't gonna stop. That joke on the roll. Bishop, we talking.
What he said is true.
Oh, okay. I'm not saying what he said wasn't true, but my thing, we're talking about the Memphis. We talking about the Memphis gang, and I call them a gang because the 5 officers that beat the young man to death. And if you take those uniforms off them and you take the uniforms off them and you put them in the same situation, they will be classified or considered to be a gang. So what makes it different? Well, what makes it right, wrong? Because it's police officers. We got a couple of callers. I'm coming to you in just 1 second. Bishop, talk to me.
Well, I mean, everybody has made some very valid points as it relates. I served in law enforcement for 12 years, and I was a preacher when I did it. And my thing was get out there to build a better community, not to target black. One of the things I said when I was a police officer, that racism exists among blacks towards black. And that's what people turn around, oh, no, it can't be. Yeah, it is, and it is, and it does. And that's the problem. So, they wear the uniform, they have the badge, and the badge is their cloak to go out and execute authority, but then they become excessive or abusive. And there's the stereotype that they say about black, black men, they're this, they're that, there's all these negative things. And that is also embedded in their minds against us, by them who talks about us. And you understand where I'm coming from. White folks have always, not all of them, please don't get it misconstrued, but there are some that have said negative things about us, and then we gravitate to what they say or how they say it. And our beloved brother Malcolm X said this very plain: you have the house Negro and you have the field Negro. And if you go back and listen to how he identified them and the way they act, that's the same thing when they put on a uniform. You still have the house Negro in a uniform that's supposed to be representing right and justice for humanity. So, it is what it is, man.
Wow.
It is what it is. But we see it. I saw it firsthand. I'm not talking through the grapevine. I saw it. And not only did I see it, I also experienced it. So they target and they label. And, in some respect, this situation, it shouldn't have been. It never should have been. And I'm glad that they got fired. And I'm glad that they're bringing murder charges against these guys, because I detest that.
Yeah. How you been an ex-officer yourself for 12 years? When you see something like this, Bishop, what place does that put you in? When you see something like this, like you said, it should never have happened. But what place does that put you in when you see it?
Well, it actually turns my stomach, because these are the men. If I committed an offense, there is an excessive use of force, and then that has to be, has to be brought back upon those
who use excessive force. They've risen up, they're suspended. It depends on the severity of the situation. At the same time, that's not what they taught us in the academy. They never taught me that in the academy. Just beat them and beat them and beat them until they come into submission. No, there's a way that you have to be able to apprehend them, and there's a way without going overboard. Those guys went overboard. And it is worse than Rodney King, because Rodney King lived.
Yeah.
This boy died 3 days later. You know, they say it's Rodney King beat. No, it is not. It is not. It was a beating that they did on Rodney King, but Rodney King lived. This cat didn't.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference to me.
Exactly.
But it turns my stomach when I see this happen. It really does, because, you know, like I said, 12 years out on the streets, man, 12 years enforcing the law. There's not one man or woman on the top side of this earth that says, Officer Adams, he disrespected me. He used excessive abuse and excessive force. Never a one time. And if I was with it, I was doing it, I'd say, yo, man, back off, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, because I care about people. And when I decided to be a police officer, not to tarnish the police image, but to give a positive image as to what we're there to do.
Exactly.
We're there
That's
to
good.
support. We're there to enforce the law, protect and serve, not become the predator and you become the victim or the prey.
That's good. That's good.
Bishop, we salute you, Bishop.
Absolutely.
Truly, you know, we really salute you, because we know it's difficult to be a man of God and being part of an environment or a team where they don't have God at the head of their life. And, you know, you was probably a minority within the ranks. And I can almost imagine, Bishop, what you've gone through, but never think that we don't appreciate your service, Bishop. And I'm sure you had dealt with some situations where you showed a certain leniency because you knew the condition of these individuals. And I'm sure you did serve where you didn't care. They used that card. It didn't mean nothing. They didn't have no reason to do what you did. Don't put color in it. We thank you, Bishop. We wish we had many men and women that serve this kind of training or this kind of service in our community. Thank you, Bishop. We really appreciate you, buddy.
Absolutely. We're gonna go to Paul, then we're gonna go to Rainbow. Paul, what's on your heart? Good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Doing all right. Yeah, I guess I have a comment about what the bishop said. That racism exists with blacks who are racist towards other blacks, and etc. And that's obviously that's true. You know, that internalized when you adopt the ideas of you know, hatred against your own people. But I mean, I want to pivot a little bit away from that, because I mean, any reasonable person who follows the news and does a little bit of research is aware that there's a problem with police and police accountability. A lot of the white people I know are aware of that, and you know, say something needs to be done, and then you have another group of people who are like the thin blue line people, you know, that have the thin blue line flag on their truck or whatever, and they're like, nope, I don't want to hear any criticism whatsoever. You have that camp, and then you have the camp that's like, all cops are bastards. And it's like both of those things are not helpful. Neither of those ideas are gonna solve the problem. The example that out here in LA, you guys probably saw it. The teacher, Keenan Anderson. That was one that sort of happened recently, and it blew my mind, because you know, you go to Twitter and pretty much all the liberals and pretty much every single black person is like, oh, this is obvious racism. And then to me, it wasn't, because if you watch the video, the white cops, they were so professional in how they dealt with him, because he was clearly having a mental health crisis. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but he was having a mental health crisis. And they're like, dude, just sit over here, you know, just calm down. We're gonna work this out. And he was saying all this irrational stuff. They're trying to kill me, and you know, he was on drugs and all this. He tried to carjack somebody like right after that, and the thing got out of control. And it's like, to me, why do people? I understand why people want to put race on it, because race is a factor in everything. But from if you watch the video, I don't know. To me, it doesn't seem like a racial thing. There's a black cop right there, and there's just a lack of trust. Obviously, that's a big part of it. I can understand that. I think what you get, most of us here are older.
Why
older.
is there a lack of trust?
We're sort of like invisible to the cops at this point. So,
Hey, Paul.
I think it's a younger person issue.
Paul, can you hear me? Why is there
I can hear you.
why is there a lack of trust? You say there's an obvious lack of trust there. Why is there a lack of trust? What created that lack of trust?
I think there's honestly, I think that you can't just put the whole thing on one side. Say that's racist cops. I mean, some communities that cops have to patrol are very dangerous, and I think that and there's an anti-cop narrative in certain communities, like, oh, we're not gonna talk to you at all. We're not gonna cooperate. And how can you build trust if you think that every cop is a racist, wants to kill you? And that's just that's not true.
A lot of times people base their opinions on circumstances that they encounter, and so we have to also keep that in mind. But we got a couple other people on here. Let me go to Rainbow. Rainbow, good morning. How you doing, young lady?
Morning, Raheem. Good morning, everybody. Blessings. I just wanted to first thank the brother that had spoke earlier for his service as being a police officer.
Yes.
I wanted to first and foremost say that. Second, I'm going to preface what I'm going to say is some black people don't like what it is that I have to say as a black woman. These officers need to be convicted to the fullest extent of the law. And when they talk about police reform is not just about white cops against black people. It's about reforming with that injustice and murder and gang type mentality that went on and somebody lost their lives. I heard it here on the local radio station yesterday by Frank Ski. He spoke to the fact that it was like, when his video comes out, he was beat like a rag doll. When you see this was like, and Ben Crump compared it to Rodney King. Whoever made the point earlier that said this was worse than Rodney King, this man died. With all that said, as a black woman, I'm very interested to see how they handle these 5 black cops that deserve to go to prison for the rest of their lives or be convicted for to the utmost of the extent of the law. You committed murder and a gang-like mentality. Take them down. Make an example out of them and take them down. And for me, that has nothing to do with race. It has to do with God. That has to do with the fact that you took a life. And so with that said, I watch our justice system. Are they going to be harder at these 5 black police officers than what they are at the 5 white ones? Are we going to go back and see for the black men that have been murdered and how it took justice to not be so goddamn swift, forgive my French, to come and take care of things when it came to Floyd, when it came to the people? How are you going to handle these black police officers? They've already been fired, which is not enough. But how are you going to handle them versus how you handled the murders of a black man at the hands of white police officers? So that's my standpoint as a black woman. But when it comes to this, take them down. Prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law, the same way you would somebody white, black, Chinese, or indifferent. And that's from a black woman that loves the Lord.
Okay. Hey, Rainbow,
Thank you for letting me share, Raheem.
Absolutely. I need you to do me one favor, though, Rainbow, before you go. Tell us how you really feel. Good God.
I think I already did.
I believe you did, sis. I believe you did. Let me go to Cassandra.
I think God handled that one.
Good deal.
I'm watching you on the live stream too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So
I appreciate you
I get
too.
to see you as well, Raheem.
Good deal.
Blessings, brother, to you and your beautiful wife and family.
Likewise. Absolutely. Cassandra. And then Pastor Mo come to you next. Pastor Mo will come to you next. What's on your heart, Cassandra? Talk to me. Yeah. You about to act up. Now I know today Friday, Cassandra. We won't need you acting up now. We know today Friday.
No. What's the Rainbow used the word, so I don't have to use that word.
Yeah.
But, so she's already used the word for me, so I don't have to go in the corner on that one. No, but seriously. I don't care what color they are. You have a side that keeps trying to make police reform be about people taking away somebody's gun and they trying to shut down the police. That lie that has been perpetrated over and over again is just that. You can't make the truth out of a lie. But that is a lie that they have perpetrated. When you say gun reform, immediately they put that, what are them people called? The gun people. What are they called? The ones that fight
The
for guns
lobbyists.
and every, what?
The lobbyists.
NFR, whoever they are.
NRA.
Yeah. Immediately they put people on the fence because they're saying they want to take away the guns. They want to do police reform. Has nothing to do with any of that. It is restructuring. It is more training. It is. Someone said this. That's what police reform is about. So it ain't about taking nothing away from anybody except taking away the chances of violence taking place against citizens. People, whether they did, listen, everyone is entitled to due process, right? So can we just at least get them to the jail? Can we do that? Can we get them to the jail and determine whatever their punishment is when people die because of cigarettes? Because they reach to get their, telling you, they reach to get their ID. What? So yeah, I want to see police reform, not them demolishing the police, because we would be in trouble if we took away the police. I love police officers. I love what most of them stand for and what they do in our communities. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna be done. On my TV show that I'm shooting, right? The police officers that I have, I went back to an old school style policing. I have all of my officers, they walk in the communities where they are in the city. So everybody knows them. These kids see them, the parents see them, the grandmama see them, and they respect them because they see them. They know their names. They walk up, they talk to the kids. So I believe if we would go back to that style of policing, because they did have that at one time. You knew who your police officers were that were in your neighborhood. So there wasn't that fear or that intimidation type tactics going on. But, I'm just saying we got to do something because we're in trouble right now. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
When I saw that all of those officers were black, I was like, oh, yeah, we done hit an all-time low right now.
Wow. Pastor Mo, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. God bless you, God. It's the greatest, man. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. We're talking about the Memphis gang. I call it the Memphis gang, and when I say that, I'm talking about the 5 police officers that beat their young man to death. 5 black police officers that beat their young black man to death. What did that say to you? What did you see when you heard the story and you saw the pictures of him laying in that hospital bed? What did that say to you?
Man, I'm hurting. You know, it's without even knowing the story, it's senseless. And even before I read about the story, and it's one of them things where you almost feel like, and not just, this ain't just for the police, it always seemed like people are just opportunists. They just seen an opportunity and just like lash out. It looked like it was personal. Like they had some built up frustration, some built up anger, maybe some mental illness, and it took it out on this gentleman. That's what it almost seemed. But to answer your question, this situation hit me different in a different way because the 3 of those police officers are my fraternity brothers.
Wow.
They were members. They were members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And we already have a stereotype against us anyway, that a lot of people don't like us. And that blinds the great work that we do and what our 4 founders created our organization for. And that's what really hurt me, that 3 of those police officers, and now mind you, it hurts me that the young man, you know, that's a whole nother conversation on what happened to the young man. But for three members who's supposed to be, first of all, God created them in His image. They shouldn't have did that in the first place. And then to add a layer to it, they are members of an organization who don't condone their act.
It was said in the chat to ask you, are they going to be kicked out of the fraternity?
He can't answer that. That ain't right to ask him that. He can't answer that.
Yeah, I can't exactly.
That ain't right.
Thank
Come on.
you, everything I did. Thank you. I don't. Yeah, that's out of my tax bracket. That's out of my title. I have no control over that. But what I can tell you is that it will be looked at. That is not what our fraternity is about, and they will be, for lack of better terms, they will be held accountable for their actions. Not to what magnitude, I don't know, but I can tell you, as a member for 15 years, that is not what we are about.
Wow. Zamari, talk to me.
Can I speak real quick?
Man, I done called you 3 times, man. You been.
I was on the phone.
Hold on, stay where you at. Zamari, go ahead, sis.
I think I'm good. Like, yeah, as long as these officers are prosecuted for their wrongdoing and justice is served, I think we're good. But that's really what needs to happen. That's what we're on here discussing, is they need to be held accountable for their actions. Regardless of anything else, that's really the topic.
But Zamari, let me ask you this, and I don't know if you say you hadn't seen it, but since you the clip, did you look at or did you do any research on it and see how this whole thing transitioned?
Yeah, that's what I was reading to. That's what I was reading to you earlier, was what I had been looking up.
Okay. What type defense, if any, do you think that these 5 police officers could have in this situation?
Oh, come on now. We already know. We already know what they're going to say. He was resisting arrest. He was, he had a weapon. He was, something violent was going on. I mean, and they already said it in the thing that I was looking at, that he ran from the cops. But I'm sorry, whether you're running from the officers or not, that does not make it okay to take his life.
Exactly.
You don't always have, even if you do shoot, right? Because the way that my husband was trained, yeah, they're trained shoot to kill, but they're also taught shoot to wound. Slow them down. It doesn't always have to be on the mark, right? Shoot them in the leg or something if you have to, whatever you got to do. You don't have to shoot to kill, but that's only in extreme circumstances. You don't always have to go there. You don't have to go there.
Wow.
But these officers, they did it, and I honestly, I truly believe that they were out looking to target somebody, and it didn't matter who it was.
Wow.
I really believe that in the depths of my soul. That's what it was.
Good deal. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
So, while everyone was talking and while I was dealing with what I was having to deal with, a grand jury returned indictments to those 5 officers: kidnapping, official misconduct, official oppression, and 2nd-degree murder. When they were arrested, their bail amounts were $250,000 and $350,000.
Someone bonded out already, if I'm not mistaken.
As of Friday morning, all but one.
Yeah.
Had posted bail and been released. And then I looked up the George Floyd, because I know someone mentioned that earlier. Found guilty of 2nd-degree unintentional, 3rd-degree murder, 2nd-degree manslaughter, and is currently sentenced in prison for 22.5 years.
Wow.
So it's it's going to be interesting. So, in my opinion, any police officer that does things like that need to be first-degree murder, the full extent, held at a higher caliber, because they're supposed to be the protectors to help clean up communities, like Bishop. But something in their mind didn't go that way. They didn't have the same moral code that Bishop had. And that's an unfortunate issue.
Exactly. And in this whole situation, the one common denominator, as sad as it is, man, is in this whole situation is police officers killing black men. Be it black police officers or white police officers, both of them are killing black men, and that's very unfortunate that we have to live in a society where we can't all just get along and love each other with a love, honor, and respect for each other. K with the E, what's on your heart, sis?
Oh, just listening, and I'm like who that lady was talking that don't watch the news, and I happened to watch the news and seeing that picture, was like, that's sad, and I had the volume muted, so I had to cut it up because I wanted to know what they was talking about, and I think that was said, and then they showed the cops, so I was like, wow. So for us to be talking about it, it just really kind of blew my mind. I was like, this is really crazy for me that this even happened, but we literally doing it every day. Those cops are just in uniforms. They still normal men, and then for them to be in a group, belong to an organization that don't condone that, so they're gonna get triple in trouble. But like he said, he looked up the George Floyd thing, so it was just as many cops involved in that as it was involved in this. I would love to see the outcome of how they charge them. It's like Badger said, it's going to be interesting.
Exactly.
I would love to see that.
Absolutely. Rico?
I could have went in the direction that everybody else has gone through, but this is something that's like almost a repeated conversation. And don't get me wrong, everybody is right. This is a police reform thing, and this is an abuse of authority by police officers. But, when Cassandra said what she said about saying it was black officers, and then that brother coming in, Pastor Mo, saying he was like, man, frat brothers. I had another Omega hit me up and say the same thing, man. That was some of my frat brothers. They didn't think nothing about the blue. They said, oh, you see, this is the thing about it. First and foremost, you're human. And then you probably put under this category that they designed, that they created. So we're going to be black males. They got this thing called driving while black. We didn't create that, but it exists. So we have to deal with that target on our backs. But I'm glad Bishop called in and said what he said, because he admitted that there are some that get caught up in that training and that program.
Yep.
So now you had Zamari with that moment where she was like, wow, something is behind. There's a reason behind these people using these certain targets, just like with the war on drugs and Paul having his awakening moment when he found out about, the war on drugs was to target black people. There's a reason behind that. But see, now think about the dysfunction and behind the black people that work in those organizations, and they only trying to do the job for the good guys. And they don't understand that ulterior motive. That they contributing to that ulterior motive, like these 5 black cops that are trying to do what the good guys do. And then remember that first they were human, and then second, you're black, third, you're Omega, then fourth, you're a police officer, because how this goes down. So now I talk about Christopher Dorner, decorated, upstanding black male, believed in the American way, patriotic, when they joined the Marines, went to be a police officer, and found out that it was about being black. So now here we go. Everything that everybody has said, this is something that needs to be discussed, and this ain't nothing new, this police reform. But outside of Zamari and Paul and anybody else that isn't black, within the black community, we have to come and have a conversation on why we put our blackness to the side so much. Why is it so easy for us to put our blackness to the side and overlook that when we see one another and just look at them as what this world has labeled them based on our titles or our careers? Because you're not going to get that to happen in the Jewish community. You're not going to get that to happen in the Asian community. You're rarely going to get them to say, well, you know what, once I put the uniform on, I'm blue.
Yeah.
But the programming and the training and the brainwashing that happens to a black man and an Omega that can do this to another black man, that goes against everything he was supposed to stand for as an Omega in that black fraternity. So when do you stop? What makes us put these things to the side and just not only dismiss our blackness, but dismiss our humanity? Now, this is a humanity situation, but in the black community, we got some discussions we need to have.
Exactly. Now, we are about to get out of here, man. We've been on here, man. What is it? Almost 10:30. Well, y'all owe me for the day, boy. Y'all owe me.
Missing Willa too. Willa still ain't showed up.
Yeah, no, she got a little something. She reached out to me, man. She got a little something going on today. She wasn't able to make it today, so we're gonna go to Cassandra. Gonna let Cassandra pray us out today. She's gonna pray us out, and she don't know it yet, but I just told her, so she can't hang up. I just told her, so she just heard me. So Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you missed today's show and would like to see or hear the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dklmediagroup.com. And I know the word entirety. If you knew, I know what that word is. I ain't saying that intentionally. Oh man, I'm doing that intentionally. I'm missing it intentionally.
Exactly. It's a morning glow thing. Just tell them it's a morning glow thing. That's all it is. Anybody have anything they want to say before we get out of here?
One thing right quick, right. I want to put this on everybody's mind because I love, we can't let this subject die. It keeps popping up, it keeps popping up, it keeps popping up. I'm not saying that on this show we have the solution, but I'm talking to people who are sensitive and empathetic to what's going on, to the point I do believe we could bring some balance to it. But I just want to put this out there. Just maybe we can start this Monday, whatever. Can the police be reformed? And are we trying to reform that cannot be reformed? If we say in our mind it can't be reformed, that's like, we keep Jimmy rigging it. You keep Jimmy rigging. We keep trying to Jimmy rig the law enforcement. Can we get to the point where we come to that attitude? You know what? It can't be reformed. Now what? Does that mean we can't have law enforcement? What does that mean when it can't be reformed? I love to see us entertain that. Hopefully, maybe Monday, Raheem, can law enforcement be reformed? And if they can't be reformed, where do we go from here? When we say, you know what, it can't be reformed, y'all, what are we going to do now? I would love to entertain that kind of conversation. And everybody else, man, have a wonderful weekend and keep an eye on Sister and Brother Fu. Thank you, Brother Raheem.
There you go. And come over to Raheem's Black Knees, Chinese and Wings restaurant and get yourself something to eat. It's good food over there. Come on there and get y'all a little something. Come on, get you a little something. I got all that you need. Cassandra.
She's not here.
Oh, she's here. She's here. I know she's here. Look, when we say it like a Cassandra, when we say it like that.
No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Father, we just want to thank you, first of all, for giving us another opportunity to be in your presence. God, I thank you for everyone that is on this line, everyone that is around the country, God, around the world that may have heard this conversation, God, and may have gained something that will help them have a clearer perspective on what is happening in our society. God, I ask you right now to just strengthen Cap, God, as he is coming through his surgery. We ask you to touch him from the top of his head to the very soles of his feet, God. We ask you to touch every place that may be hurting, God, every place that may be healing in his body. God, we just honor you today. We just thank you for your goodness and your mercy toward each and every one of us. God, we ask you right now to bless those families, God, that have been affected by any type of violence, God. We don't care if they're black, white, who did it was black, white, orange, or green. We ask you to stop the madness, God. But we know that all of this is a part of your divine plan for mankind and for this earth. We ask you to show us grace and mercy, God, in a time where it seems like it's nowhere to be found. We honor you, we love you, we trust you, God, with every fiber of our being. Now we ask you to bless Raheem, bless the family that he looks over and protects on a daily basis. And we ask you right now, God, help your people, God. For you said that if your people who are called by your name would humble themselves and pray, turn from their wicked ways and seek your face, then you would heal the land. We ask you, God, touch our land right now. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. And the people of God said, amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Look at that. Boy, y'all don't know.
Hey, I forgot how good Cassandra did it. I missed that, Cassandra. I missed that. You did. Hey, I forgot how good you was with it. I forgot you was 1A at first.
Exactly. I'm going to say, hey, don't sleep on Cassandra now. Cassandra got some in him, boy. Look at him. Look at him. Good God, look at him.
I love it, man. Thank you, Cassandra. I love it.
Absolutely. It's been a great broadcast, man. It's been a great broadcast. Cassandra, you want to say something? Cassandra?
That wasn't me.
Oh,
that was me. I said amen.
Oh, there you go. K with an E. Boy, I'm just shocked.
That was a blessed prayer.
Absolutely.
We thank God for using you, Cassandra.
Exactly.
I didn't forget. I was happy when he said Cassandra.
But see, my thing is, I'm just shocked you was able to find your mute button in time to say something. That's all I'm saying.
My mute button. Shut up, Raheem. You was doing good. Are you gonna sing at your Chinese, Raheem?
I'm gonna look at. Come and get it while it's hot. God almighty. Boy, look at here. Boy, look at that. That's a Grammy. That's a Grammy right there. That's a Grammy cap. That's a Grammy.
We say his signature dish gonna be chitlin egg roll.
With your Black and Blue restaurant, I want to say this. It's always good to have a backup quarterback. That's all I'm going to say.
AM has a Raheem black knees and wings. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna hook it up. Y'all ain't never had no Chinese food like this. Boy, I'm gonna get special seasonings, special sauces, all that. Wings.
Some black knees. Go on with your best.
Yeah, black knees. I'm black knees.
We're going to say, Raheem, they don't put hot sauce in that, man.
Hey, you know that commercial? I put that on everything. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. I put that on everything. Hey, man, look at it. Well, now y'all know I don't watch this. Now y'all know I don't eat no pork. But watch this. I'm gonna have pork. I'm gonna have pork chop, fried rice, and all that stuff, man. No, I ain't. Let me stop that foolishness.
Now.
Let me stop that foolishness because high blood pressure be running all over the neighborhoods. And let me ask y'all a question.
Oxtail, poo platter.
Just Rico. There you go. Let me ask y'all something. Is we talk about stuff running our family. Is generics and stuff like that. We got to get out of here. We got to go, man. Talking about everything is generic, it running the family and stuff like that. Is it genetics, or is it just our eating habits that most of us, a lot of us have high blood pressure and stuff like that? What do you think it is, Rico? What do you think it is?
Nope.
Eating habits.
I can say that. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Because my mama love pork skins and I can't stand them.
Keep that mess. Or keep that all that messy. You know, look here. Don't even bring no pig in my neighborhood. Don't even bring them over here. I don't even want them in my neighborhood.
Ate all the pork.
What, Cassandra? What do you say to that? Is it genetics or is it eating habits?
I plead the fifth.
Most of the time, when somebody say that, Rico, you know what they mean, don't you?
She love them pork chops and them chicken and them chitlins.
Yes, Lord.
I don't eat pork chops like that, but every now and then, I got to tell the truth. Every now and then, I'll eat me some pork. Now, not often, but yeah, I do.
How you made the transition over to the turkey bacon yet?
No,
okay.
I just rather quit. I try. I just leave it alone. I'd rather not have it. I tried it. Man, it's decent. It's decent, but it ain't the same as bacon. I'd rather not have it.
Man, look here. It works fine with me. Cap, what you say to that? It works fine with me.
Well, when you have to find a substitute, I got type 2 diabetes and I can't have sugar. So they got that, other sugar, substitute sugar. It ain't sugar. But it has to do because of my circumstances. There's no question. Those of us, I didn't say I didn't like pork when I became a Muslim. No, I just know that what it does. But I went into the hospital. My blood pressure about 2 weeks ago was 200 over 118.
Good Lord.
The lady looked at me. I'm in the hospital getting ready to get an operation. She said, my Lord. And I'm looking normal shit. You ain't got a headache or nothing. I'm almost saying to myself, we so stressed out as the people, we done changed the figures. We have adapted to a high level. It ain't got nothing to do with food all the time. It has something to do also with the stress of wondering, can I get that car note and that rent due? That becomes stressful. That takes your blood pressure. So it ain't never got just nothing to do with the piggy wiggy. The physical signs, I know you going to eat it ain't going to be easy to have you switch over, but your doctor, if you got high blood, they're going to tell you, leave it alone. But I'm not mad at you. You're still my people.
There you go. There you go. Pastor Mo, what do you Pastor Mo, what do you say to that? Is it genetics or is it our eating habits?
Man, I'm gonna be real simple. All I'm gonna say is that I think it's a little bit of both, and we all gonna die some, so die happy. I use my turn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
And she over there screaming. I'm wondering, is Zamara still with us? She got a screen blank. I don't know if she's still there. Zamara, you there? There she go. What is it? Is it
I'm here.
Is it eating habits or is it genetics that a lot of people have high blood pressure and stuff like that? What do you think it is?
Ooh, I think it's a little bit of both because some people can eat right and all of that, right? But then they still have those issues, and so they have to be more careful about what they're eating and how their diet is. Other people, I think it is on by poor eating habits. So it's just really, it goes based on, sometimes it's just genetics. Sometimes it is just because you eat really terrible all the time.
All the time.
It's both.
Exactly. Badger, what do you think it is, brother?
I'd say it's all of the above.
I
mean, it can be genetics. It can be the way you eat. It can be the stuff that they're doing to the foods. There's a lot of variables. Because a lot of the foods we eat today are genetically modified, so it's not even the actual natural food. It's something that's created in a lab.
Okay. That's true. And then I'm gonna put a challenge out there. I'm going between now, by the time we end the broadcast, and when I come back on here Monday morning, I'm gonna do 1,000 push-ups. How many push-ups y'all gonna do? You don't have to be 1,000. You don't have to be 1,000. How many can y'all commit to?
3.
I can't even do a half of one. So that's not happening.
Zamaria, I got 3 on it.
Well, that's one for you, me, and one for her. Thank you. We love you to death.
What you got on it, Rico?
I don't know if I'm gonna do 1,000, but I'm gonna do my normal routine. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing for me to drop down and do 60 about 4 or 5 times a day. So
there you go. And
I do that anyway. So
how many Rico?
I do 60. I do 60 at a time. That's what I'm up to now. 60 at a time.
Man, go ahead. Well, I had a back surgery, so you might as well count me out.
No. I'm doing 1,500 gonna be for you.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that.
I'm giving you half of mine. 500 is yours. Pastor Mo, how many you got? How many you got for me between now and Monday morning?
Now I'm gonna do 3. Man, I'm gonna do 300 because I do 100, at least 100 a day. So
okay.
Hey, Raheem,
I did my 100 this morning, so I got you.
Okay, my man.
You're gonna have to record it. You're gonna have to record you doing 1,000.
Oh no, it's not gonna be at one time now. It's gonna be over the weekend because I usually do I do mine in sets of 50. I do 50, now I go back do the 50 more, and I go back.
You're gonna do 1,000 in 2 days.
Yeah.
All right, record it and post it on your Facebook.
You want me to
each time you do it, so we can keep count with you.
I tell you what, every time I do it, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna say there go 50. There go 50 more, and then you tally all of
I
them.
need video evidence, man.
The same action he texting with, them same fingers he pressing the text with, he can press them same buttons to push a record button.
Exactly. Man, thank you.
But see, my thing is that's extra work, man. Having to record every time, I just do it when I do it, and have to record and all that stuff. Man, that's too much extra work, bro.
Oh, you need your phone? You can do that Facebook Live thing button.
That make me more tired than doing the push-ups. I can knock out 50 push-ups in a rim.
Yeah, your finger's gonna get tired. You do 50 push-ups, but his finger's
we
gonna
don't
get tired.
have proof of it happening. It didn't happen.
Yeah, see that hurts my heart.
That's right.
That hurts my heart because it almost sounds as though y'all don't believe me. Y'all look, hey Rico, it almost sounds as though y'all don't believe me. That hurts.
That's why I said I couldn't promise you 1,000 because I know how dedicated you got to be throughout the day within 2 days to get to 1,000. Because like I say, I do it 4 or 5 times a day. It ain't nothing for me to do 60, but I ain't gonna be guaranteed to do it 10 times a day. You get what I'm saying? I might, I just do it when I think to do it. So I couldn't guarantee you 1,000 myself. I know what it's gonna take for you to do that 1,000.
But see, only thing is you gotta equate it like that. It's 50. Do it 50 10 times through the course of the day. You could do that.
Yeah, but then through the course of the day, what else you got to do?
I just drop down where I'm at. Okay, that's 50. Now if I come on here and say, man,
push-ups against a wall don't count.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this here. If I fall short, I'm gonna come on here. I ain't fooling with you. If I come on here on Monday morning and for whatever reason I didn't make it, I'm gonna tell you what number I got to. If I don't get to 1,000, I'm gonna tell you. If I got to 1,000, I'm gonna tell you. Or if I got to 1,000, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna happily tell you. Gonna happily. But listen, man, it's 10:43, almost 11 o'clock. I got to go, y'all. Boy, y'all something else. Y'all know I'm gonna miss y'all until Monday, though. I'm gonna miss y'all until Monday, man. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Hope everything goes well for you, and I hope each and every one of you are blessed in a mighty way over the weekend and in all the days to come. All right. Cool. Raheem's Black Knees and Wings. Come and get some. It is now 10:43. I want to thank everybody for joining us more than that. I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:44. You're about to exit the Morning Glow, but before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. 1, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And then we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. Get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Have a great day. See you Monday morning. God said the same. Give somebody some love and some truth. Take care.